Welcome at On-Chain Smokerz podcast. Today we have Non-Fungible Book Club team joining us to explain more about their project and newly found platform, launching music, ebooks, and more digital things to experience. Let me first start with the people introducing themselves. Me and Krana, we are the known host of On-Chain Smokerz. This is the fourth episode. Paulie is joining us somewhat later, but let's take a look at the Non-Fungible Book Club team. Bilda, can you start off?
Sure. I'm just a co-founder. Primary role is artist, designer, but also now we're exploring other roles that I don't really want to talk about yet. But as far as what NFBC needs, but definitely like builder of art, NFTs. I'm a 3D artist, concept artist background in the gaming industry. So concept 2D and 3D. So that's kind of like a brief summary of my history. But on this team, my primary role is art. All sorts. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, happy to be here. Thank you guys.
Thank you for joining us, man. And let's follow up with Critter. Critter, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so one of three co-founders. My brother's on here. That's the whole co-founder team. I'm a writer on the team as well as the developer for the D app. And then we all take our time with the community. So I think we're all community managers in a way as well.
And let's close off with designer then.
Oh yeah, so yeah, definitely. I'm mirroring a little bit of Build F for sure. Well, not a little bit, absolutely. Concept artist, 3D artist, background from the gaming industry as well. NFT creator. We're doing a lot of things right now. Just a co-founder and learning a lot as we go in regards to what the D app means and represents to us as a strong base. So, but no, it's been really great. We've been around for now probably a year and some change. Every day is pretty interesting. So no, things are great. This is awesome. This is really, really awesome.
What I like most about Web3 myself is that there is always a new thing to explore. There's always a new piece of utility that you can give to your project. There's always a new piece of development that you can build on. There's always something, even if it's a little piece of front end on your D app, or there's always something new to bring your community. And I think that's one of the things that makes Web3 very interesting for people like us. I think I think it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe that the best ideas haven't came out yet. So
yes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we hope so. And just like, I'm sure you guys at Black V are the same way. Like we meet up on our meeting days and we're brainstorming new ideas, new checklist items for the next week. And then we get through those and it's constantly like, what's next? It's just a big playground, man.
And it's amazing what's possible in the long run. There are so many things that are unexplored or like 1% explored. And one of the things I saw in Las Vegas, I don't know if you saw them too, Critter, but there was a huge music platform from Cardano also there. So I think there's a lot of potential to bring a platform alike to VeChain, man. So I think y'all are on the right track, if I can say it like that.
Yeah. I think you're talking about. I think it's Sound XYZ. Those guys are. We've been on a lot of their spaces. Yeah, they're doing great things. And like what's funny about us is we came from that idea of like constantly trying to do more and more. So we started as just like, how do we launch our lore for a collection that these two gentlemen have killed themselves on, like this custom collection we haven't released yet. And we're like, how do we get our lore out And so we thought, oh, we needed like an audio NFT for audiobooks, right? We know the audiobook market's got a lot of run to it. People don't got time to read, but they'll listen. But what's been funny is, like, as we designed that, the people that have been knocking on our door are musicians a lot. And it's kind of like, sure, like we're built for that too. You know, we might as well. And, you know, looking at things like podcasts and stuff like that in the future. But it's just really hard to say no to anything when there's so much potential everywhere, you know. Like, for all we know, we're built as an audiobook app. It might end up being that primarily, but we're not going to say no to the different roads people want to use us for. You know, we're built for it. We might as well, you know.
Yes, yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from, man. And yeah, the community basically guides you towards new ideas, right? So, and I think it's important and that it is doable on our ecosystem because VeChain is still very small. I think it's important that we listen to the OGs and give them what they want, because then they are also more incentivized to make noise for your platform and to get more people onto the platform and stuff like that. So yeah, I think one of the nice things of VeChain is that we all are very reachable. You know, you can join the Non-Fungible Book Club Discord and you can talk to all three of you. You know, and if you are on Ethereum, try to get the founders.
No, it won't happen. They're, you know, they're big. It's opportunity of a small space, man. Like, you know, especially projects that are rooted now, Black V, World of V, us. There's nothing but potential to just collaborate. You know what I mean? Because if we've been here since the beginning, we're going to continue to be here. That's one thing you can't buy is like an honesty brand or a trust brand. And we're in the trenches earning it. You know what I mean? There's no money flowing around right now, hardly any. So obviously our, you know, incentives are something else. We see something for the future, you know?
For now, it's all love. And I think the community starts to see that, man. And yeah, I'm very happy with the growth that VeChain as a whole is making. I see a lot of new people joining in, a lot of new investors popping up. I'm glad with the tools that VeChain Energy is providing us. For example, the token swap. I don't know if you guys saw it already. We integrated. I integrated it in all Launchpad projects, just to have cross-chain people come in, swap their tokens, get some VeChain, get banging, man. I think it's important that we show people how easy it is on VeChain, how fast we are. I never minted on a chain faster than VeChain. You press the mint button, you go to your wallet, and it's there.
Yeah, I think that was what was cool about that NFT XLV event, is when we were getting people to play with our products like right there. That was what they were saying. They're like, I'll check back to see when it's in my wallet. And it's like, don't like, look at it right now. It's there. You know what I mean? And that's massive. Like, people, you know, these other chains are obviously more populated than ours, but when you sit and look at like what consumers want, they want it now. Like, they buy it and they get it. It's why Amazon's done well. Not many new users are going to say, I'm going to send my money into this unknown void, and 20-30 minutes later it's not there. And like, I'm not discrediting, a lot of these chains have great functionality and a lot of things built around it, but they don't have that. You know, I'll be honest with you, man. I've minted on Cardano and I've wondered where did my money go, and like, where's my products? I'm a Web3 head. I could wait, no problem. I loved it, all good. They came in 25 minutes. I got my NFTs. But the average user, you know what I mean? In this world,
And there's no customer support service to call. Like, hey, I just made this one, you know, like, so, and
if you're totally blank coming in a space like this and have to wait 25 minutes on your digital product, stress will flow to your head, man.
Scary. And especially like on ETH when you're paying gas to wait.
oh,
and
dude.
then over versus VeChain where you're paying a fraction of a penny and it's almost instant. Yeah, I think it'll catch on sooner or later, especially for, I always talk for like, I I compare ETH to like more of a country club type of chain.
Yeah.
So if you don't come in with a couple $1,000s, you're not gonna walk away too many NFTs.
Yeah.
But eventually, there's got to be something mainstream. Not everybody's gonna be able to buy ETH NFTs. That's not gonna.
Right.
The common person with $200 or $300 isn't gonna be able to go buy $300 worth of ETH, transfer it to their MetaMask, and then pay all the gas. They're gonna end up with like $150 worth of NFTs. How much is that gonna get you on the ETH? So over here, the VeChain, a couple $100, man, you're walking away with a lot of NFTs from a lot of different projects. You know what I mean? And it's you can get what you like. Almost pretty much, you don't have to worry about wasting gas on a bad transaction or anything, or on a bad NFT. It just seems more enjoyable for, I think, a normal person that only has a few hundred. And I think that's going to be needed. Maybe it doesn't seem needed right now, but when this hits mass adoption, it's going to be needed.
Yeah. And and just real quick on my end, like as the developer deploying contracts, dude, like don't make the mistake. Like deploying contracts take a lot of gas fees on Ethereum. I mean, as a developer, if you fuck up a smart contract on Ethereum, I hope you got the backing, because you might be spending $1,000 to deploy that contract. Over here, it's like, man, I test all of our client stuff into the ground on testnet and on mainnet, because why not? Like, what's it costing me? Like 3 cents to make sure that my customer gets the minting experience they designed with us. Like, I just can't imagine the stakes are really high for developers to be launching things on Ethereum is what I'll say.
That means it's high for the buyers too. The stakes are high for the risk are higher. So, but should we get into what non-fungible book club's about? Like somebody saying, I'm just new to NFTs. I just picked up a bookmark. What do I do with it? How's that work?
Yeah. You guys okay if I start? Whatever we want to do.
Just give us a quick rundown.
So non-fungible book club. So we have a number of products under us already, but the one we're focused mainly on as our forefront is the D app, right? Like, we want to have a functional app that musicians, writers, people can come push their art out on, their audio art, right? So spoken word, whatever it is, we're not limited to anything. Push out their audio art and keep the majority of the revenue. Like, our model was built on challenging or offering really like an alternative to platforms like Spotify and Audible. So Spotify, you'll put your single up there, and the benefit of Spotify is you got a lot of users, a lot of exposure. A lot of people can get your song, but what you're not getting are your royalties, because for Spotify, you're basically maybe a penny per stream if you're lucky. Most of them are half pennies unless you're Drake, right? Non-fungible book club, Rob Nichols, he's 15% minted, and he's keeping 70% of what's coming in through the D app. So you cannot get that on Spotify, and vice versa with Audible. Audible, if you're going to use them for your audiobook, you're going to sign something that's exclusive to maximize your funds. And that's already right there going to be like 65 or upwards cap on their take, Audible's take. So anyway, that's our model, man, is like, we're offering a place to sell your music, sell your audio art, and keep your revenue. Obviously, we're in Web3, so there's a bunch of other stuff possible, right? Your customers, their wallet. You got Rob running a 50-50 giveaway. He's going to find one user wallet and randomly pick it and dump a bunch of VeChain on them. These are things that the Web2 world, Spotify's not going to accommodate that to you. You don't know who's streaming your songs. You don't know who's doing what, right? So that's our model. That's our product that we're really focused on right now. You guys brought up the bookmarks. That was sort of like our Kickstarter project, right? So collect bookmarks, get codexes. Codexes are sharing in the progress of this app, right? Our codexes are our members. Those dudes, there's a fund set up that every mint from this page ends up going into a Codex fund wallet, and that's controlled by Codex holders, and it's exclusively benefiting them. So anytime something sells or mints from our site, the Codex holders from our Kickstarter project, those guys are getting that reward. So if you want to be a member or get the Codex and like be part of that share, right now it's all aftermarket, right? Because we closed the mint. So you'd have to buy, you know, your pieces aftermarket, burn them, and you know, get your collection basically.
So you gotta go put the set together. I mean, it's all so you have to collect 5 of each of a certain color, right?
Yeah, it's 5 of the same color, and they have different characters stamped on them, and that's, you know, that's it. You know, you burn them on VC, you get your Codex, and we'll always leave that Codex burn open for people to kind of collect. Murtagh, if you hit collection, I bet you it's already in there, bro. It looks like you minted. I saw a success message. Hit that
I just want to
collection
mint
tab.
a couple, man, so we can give away
Oh,
some.
my bad. Cool, man. All right, I was just
But
making sure you knew you had it in your wallet. But yeah, dude. So the app is, you know, that's the intention of the app, dude. Like, let artists keep their work, and you know, it's a tool for artists. Spotify's got its role. It gets your name out there for sure. But if you got a following and you got people that really like you, come and check out Non-Fungible Book Club, and you get to keep your revenue. That's sort of our model. We got other shit cracking too, but that's like our main focus right now. You know, I don't want to overwhelm the question.
And I also wanted to add something.
So
I just wanted to add on, piggyback on top of what Critter just spoke on. And we're also, if you guys, like he said, design like the experience like with the artist. So this is a very customizable relationship that we're going to be building with each artist. Like Rob came to us, and Critter and him worked out how that mint was actually going to work out. So it's totally up to you. I mean, there's limitations, don't get me wrong, but to what and how you want this mint to go. And we're also working on really maximizing that kind of customer satisfaction. I don't want to get too boring with these terms, but we're really wanting to build solid relationships with the people that we work with, and actually walk them through the process and actually help promote with them. Like this, and we're learning all this now in real time. Like, no, we got to be with these artists and supporting these artists, and actually like, you know, promoting them like genuinely though, like not in some kind of like fake, you know, marketing kind of campaign, but like a real, like you guys talked about, Web3, everybody can see the bullshit. So it's like, no, we genuinely like ride with Rob. He's been in the space for a minute. We hosted him like a year ago, where he was just coming on talking about his ideas, and now look where we are now. You know, we've known this guy for a minute, so it's like, it's not like he's some stranger who just walked in the door, but yeah, we're here to like really, I'm just kind of slowing down, like, oh no, this D app has a lot more potential, and it's going to take a lot more, you know, hand holding, but also like, hey, you got any questions? We got you. You know what I mean? Like, we're really wanting to build that kind of relationship where like, hey, we're going to be here with you, walking with you. So I just wanted to add that.
I really like the platform, man, and it's growing in a rapid pace, I believe. Designer, sorry for interrupting, man.
No. I'm interrupting you, man. So I apologize, Murtagh. I just wanted to add this point too as well. So Murtagh, like you were saying, how Web3 is amazing because there's always innovation and always new things to learn and plug into as far as tools and tech, or just concept and ideas. And the one thing that I really love about Web3 too is our community has done a lot to like offer us ideas in our spaces. You know, we'll have spaces and then they'll present stuff and we're like, wow, we kind of slept on that, or we didn't even think about that. And we definitely big up our community and regularly in the sense. And thank you for, I mean, the D app is pretty amazing. I'm still really in awe of it actually, you know, working and not working, but just actually being here and working in the present time, because this was kind of a little bit of a long time coming for us to have this up and going. And I don't think I've really got to fully digest this moment that now we got Rob Nichols featured, and you know, we just this week launched him, and figuring out a whole marketing aspect and like Builder was saying, marketing and building a relationship that's more genuine to us and then them, so that it's more authentic when we present them to the world, right? So yeah, this is very new for us, and I'm just really I'm really excited for the entire process that we're experiencing right now. And also with the D app, like it's going to evolve and it's going to change based on whatever users we get, because our platform is so open. I mean, music can be anything, just sound, right? And audiobooks, there's so many different genres. So I'm just really excited to see like what what it's going to look like. What's the D app going to look like a year from now?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too. Is how do you feel that Web3 is going to benefit the artist and the consumer? Because it seems like Web3 is kind of designed to kind of take out unnecessary middleman or take out some hands in the cookie jar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is that what you see Web3 doing for you? I mean, it should be a win-win for both sides, right?
Yeah. There's a couple things that are obvious to us as Web3 users. Like, this is the first time that, not necessarily the first time, but an application of Web3 here allows the artists that launch on our platform to know their customers, man. Like, you could know who your dogs are, like who bought my first single, second single, third single, fourth single. And we talked about at the beginning of this, like customer relationships are massive, right? What better way to like incentivize a relationship or keep a relationship close than knowing who your customers are exactly, because we got their wallets, right? And also having the opportunity to not even ask them, just rain something on them, whether it's an NFT, maybe it's crypto. Like that's sort of the easy low hanging fruit. And then also like as a customer, man, you guys bought just now 2 of Rob Nichols' songs. You guys can send those. If you buy a single or an audiobook on Audible, that's not really yours. Audible owns the access to that thing. You can't be sending that to a friend. You can't hold a garage sale and sell it when you're done reading it or listening to it. As users, you could do that with NFBC because of the blockchain. The last thing I wanted to say is like the coder and developing size is like, we're storing so much data on chain, dude. And it's immutable. Like we know who our users are, dude. And I didn't have to create a database to store those things. Like I know who our users are. I know who our customers are. On the business side, like that's less time as a developer I'm spending warehousing data that I may or may not use. We just put that up on the blockchain. It's there. It's immutable. It's all good. We'll access it when we want it. So, I mean, there's Web3 application for an audio platform like this. Those are just the easy ones, There's so many more, dude. So many more windows and doors opened by blockchain.
Absolutely. And I'll add this too. With blockchain, like Murtagh, you mentioned VeChain Energy. Look at the tools that they've created. I mean, and they're just a primary asset to the space. We could go to them and we can measure things that we never thought we could ever measure, just by being, on the VeChain Thor blockchain, because they're such a really primary, powerful asset to the space in general. So, I mean, like, it's like having a giant cookie jar and you haven't even tasted all the flavors of the cookie, all the cookies, all the different cookies. So, and it's just like, man, I need to get in there and get to the bottom. Like, but yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. It's pretty awesome.
And the second you think you ate all the flavors, there are 100 new flavors. It's like being in Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yeah, 100%. You start having to figure out what you need to prioritize because you can't do it all. Like, you just can't do it all at once,
And then my ADHD brain kicks in and I'm doing it all at once.
Yeah, you definitely are, dude. You're a building machine. Insane.
It's crazy, man.
Together, man.
Sometimes I run past myself, man. And yeah, I think you felt it in the Discord DMs. I tend to DM everyone back, but
You always get
Sometimes.
back, dude. I know you're juggling. I know it's hard, dude. We're the same way. Like we've talked about the D app. Our focus is there. That's what we're building. But we have this complete other side that's like lore based and NFT collection based that we are also simultaneously working on, like this book series, this collection of punks, an app that will host these collections. So like, yeah, the biggest challenge, dude, is like finding that, like, what's the cookie we're focused on right now? Because there's too many damn cookies out there. And, you know, we're going to get our teeth rotted at the sugar if we keep on going. Got to focus.
I was just browsing on the D app more, and I came across the Punks Awaken ebook. Is it still mintable?
Yeah. So what we did with the Punks book, we made it a free mint, and the fees all like, you know, delegated fees on the entire site. So that particular mint's completely free. So that's a book I wrote. It's part of a series that me and the guys are working on, because we have another business model around a collection that we really love, and we want to sort of pre-bake value into it versus coming to market saying, you know, here's the things we want to do. We're going to have that, but we are really focused right now at that collection on pre-baking value. And those book series is one way we're doing it. So right now that's a free mint, but in the future with the other books, we're going to be developing some price schemes that will help bolster the value of owning the Punks collection later. So right now we're just offering it for free, though. We think everybody should be able to give it a listen and know that it's ongoing. We're building it.
Yeah, I was thinking about we worked together before with the Dragons of Singapore. We should talk about that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Murtagh
And there are some chapters, right? It's already ebook worthy.
Yeah, we have you guys put out, you know, you guys put together the magic, man. Fingabang's voice and the background audio, like you guys inspired, like the Punks book that they listened to, these two gentlemen at first was without background noise, but when I heard what you guys put together with the dragons, dude, we took it back. You know, we mixed in sound effects, brought it to life, but that was your guys' doing. After we saw what dragons had to offer, we're like, man, we got to go all in. Like, we got to make it the best product we can.
Well, huge shout out to Fingabang then.
Oh man, so Critter posted a Dragon to Singapore in the chat, and I listened to it, and I was just blown away by the I don't know, it was just awesome. The extra sound effects, the just the storytelling component. I mean, it was awesome. I was hooked immediately, and that's when we realized that, hey, we need to add that extra sensibility to the Punks book, because it was just obvious. So man, you guys totally should. I mean, I'm waiting for the rest. Where's their other chapters? You guys got to finish it.
They are written. How much chapters do we have, Critter? Like 10 or something?
Yeah, there's quite a few of them. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know how you guys ended up breaking it up, because we sort of gave you the package, and then you guys were gonna chop it up, which you did, and I mean, that was great. Like, that small dose of that first chapter was great, and dude, like, that leads us to where we're at. Like, we're talking about musicians, we're talking about like authors, but dude, like, we're all sitting on collections, like all of us, that have opportunity to flesh out IP, develop more value. In the same way that Rob Nichols running contests for his holders, and the way we're trying to build Punks Awaken to benefit the future holders of Punks. Everybody could be doing that, even in our space right now. Like, it's an opportunity. It's hard to sell collections right now, but NFBC, we can help enhance collections that exist by, the funds raised by releasing a book or a chapter or whatever we're going to release. That could be applied to help holders. It's just a tool. We're just a tool in the belt of the community. That's kind of what we're trying to be.
Yes, I like the community-minded aspect of non-fungible book club, 100%. And it vibes good with Black V Market. We have the same mindset.
Yeah.
Power to the people, right?
Eventually,
100%.
like-minded people, will flock to each other. It might take a little while, and that's just the process. And I think everything that's happened in VeChain so far has been pretty much organic. Nothing's really been forced, and and we're still learning. Like Murtagh, I've heard him say there's no we still don't know the magic recipe yet. So we're still figuring everything out.
We talked about it in an earlier podcast. I don't remember with who, but there isn't a magic recipe to mint out your NFT project. There aren't NFT experts. It is so young. It is so new. People who claim to be experts or stuff like that. Are you really an expert? You minted a good project, made some profit, and now you are an NFT investor?
Well, we're experts because nobody knows enough to argue with us. So,
True that.
Yeah, man, this stuff is so new. Like, you guys are so right. You just hit the nail on the head. And the main reason, like, a lot of these projects earlier, like, minted out was because they were first to market. These projects that made all this money, they're like the first several dozen or maybe 24, I don't know. We'll say more than that, to market. And of course, they're going to mint out, because people are like, oh, this new nascent technology, I can collect art in this interesting way where it's immutable and I own it and blah, blah, blah. So they do that. And everybody thinks that, oh, I'm going to create my own collection, but we're all learning and we're starting to, all of us together on the team, how can we create additional value? How can we actually go beyond just you collect this thing and then you just sit on it? What else can we do? So we're really trying to brainstorm and actually bring more than we're trying to, we're really, it's just like you guys said, like the cookie jar is just infinite. So we're just sitting here like, man, drowning in the cookie jar. So trying to come up with new ideas.
Well, I would see in the future, like these NFTs, like I bought Rob Nichols NFT. Now, what can I do to it? What can I do with it? Can I rent it out to somebody who does Instagram or TikTok and let them use it as their sound, on the background where they legally can use it because they rented it for me? And does that give kind of owners the kind of like ownership of it, or does it work like that, or can it work like that? I don't know. I'm just trying to brainstorm.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a utility that the artist would come with, right? Like, if Rob Nichols wanted to share the rights to the song that way, like he's,
yeah, the artist and the NFT holder gets a percentage of that, and then maybe the NFT holder gets a percentage for putting that out there. You know what I mean? Hey, use this song for your reels or whatever, and it's kind of like it's kind of like affiliate marketing, where, hey, this is my affiliate marketing link. If you use my NFT, then I get my percentage of the use. So, I think that's kind of, especially if you have limited singles where there's only 100 tracks or whatever, that kind of gives it more exclusivity too. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking like a collector. That's all.
Oh man, that's some next level. That's some next level shit. So no, that's kind of like, I never thought about any of that stuff you just mentioned. So, dude, that's just like, what, Big up, man.
It's like on Web2, you have the things like Patreon and stuff like that. It's something like that, you can support your favorite artist. You can show them some love through holding a piece of their history. I think it's awesome, man. And I think you should keep on building, man. It's amazing. And I see your 3D renders pass by on Twitter also. That's also very awesome. You guys are working hard.
Yeah, I think like what you're talking about, Pena, like what you're talking about, like sharing the rights of your work, like that's our exact model with the Punks Awaken book series. I mean, so for us with that book series, that's what we're choosing to do. We're choosing to share that with the future community of that book series, right? Like that book series isn't going to profit us. It's going to profit us as a community, right? And another thing you could do with Web3, because there's no doubt who owns the character from my book series, right? I know who's going to own that collectible character, and I know that there's money or crypto that should be flowed to that person because they own that character, right? Like there's so many creative ways artists can use our platform, but you know, Web3 in general. I hope this works, bro. I'm gonna try here to grab something. I don't know if I have the streaming rights, but
If you share your screen, I can pop it up. Yes.
y'all able to
There
see
we
that guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what we're talking about, right? Like the audiobook that's out there for free right now. This is the main character of that book. These gentlemen designed this guy by hand. Like everything you're seeing, nothing is generative. These guys spent hours and hours building these 3D riggable characters, metaverse ready guys. And like we're with the book series, our idea is like, okay, whoever ends up minting this dude, they deserve royalties on the books that he appears on, you know. And that's what you're talking about, Pena. Like you were talking about music, but this is that same application we're already planning for these dudes right here. This collection's obviously not out, but we talked about the cookie jar. Like this is something we're actively working on in the back, and it feeds back into the platform because, you know, people will understand by example the kind of stuff that you could do, basically, you know.
Those look like they make a good little, you know, like toys, like figures. So
we're
you know what I mean? And like you can
we're
send it
right
to
there
3D.
with
It
you.
already looks like it's ready to be 3D printed, you know, 3D printed and all that. So, and who knows? Like, hey, I own this NFT. I'm the only one that can print this NFT. And if anybody wants to buy it, you know, actually just, you know, I don't know how many NFTs are going to be in your collection, but there's going to be so many options that, let's say somebody who wants to buy one as a toy can say, hey, I like that NFT. That's my favorite one. And then whoever owns the NFT gets a piece of that, you know, that toy sale. So, yeah, man, like I said, there's so much potential in this whole Web3.
Yep.
It's just, you know, to have, I think we're way, VeChain is way undervalued as far as great minds in this community. I think people don't really, I think we're undervalued and underestimated, but I like being an underdog too. So
yeah, we get to come up with the upset.
I'm glad I'm part of you guys. I'm glad I'm part of the journey because I'm just a collector at the end of the day. I don't do dev work. I'm not an artist. But I'm just, you know, more of the voice, you know, the host of spaces. And that's pretty much what I do because I come more as a collector and that's how I think. And I think that's kind of what I bring to the team is, you know, the other side.
No, but your ideas are more than that too. Like, because some of the stuff that you mentioned, and I'll be real quick, are so like, wow, never thought about that. Never thought about that. It takes everything that the community. That's one thing that I personally have been lacking, and I'm trying to get better at. Is like, not that I'm not ever going to say that I'd be as good at community, but you have to plug in, you know, to your community because if you don't, they don't even know you're there. So it's so integral to this ecosystem that you have to. What you do is super important. So it's absolutely necessary, and I'm learning this more and more the longer I've been in this space. So you have to have that element, or you're just going to be just invisible. So super important.
Thank you. And if you disappear for a day in this environment, the stories go crazy. You know, you disappear more than 24 hours, somebody's putting a missing persons report in.
Yeah. Are you guys seeing that my image is frozen? On my end, it's frozen. That frozen for you guys?
Yeah, you're frozen.
You're frozen.
Yep. Sorry, my bandwidth's a mess. Oh, well, I got my real self up here now. Either way.
Well, this will do.
I just wanted to add too, real quick. Murtagh, you were talking about, you know, the whole NFT expert aspect of, you know, people were saying, oh, because I minted out. You're right. You guys are absolutely right. Bill, that you hit on this too as well. It was all timing. Like, you got to look at when projects were minting out. That's when we were like really euphoric. Everything was green. Everything's going up. People were like, you know, oh, making all this money. So they're just minting everything. And then also, like, just specifically on the VeChain community and the VFam. VFam was just really going around and supporting just projects that were just popping up. Like, we were just really being this kind of collective support ecosystem. Oh, that project's up. Let's go mint them out. Not realizing that most of these projects are going to rug. So, but, and I missed that, but, you know, a lot of people are burned right now, right? Because of all the rugs, and everybody should be very, you know, cautious, right? And so now I think the next phase of the space is you got to come with something a little bit more than just some idea and a big collection. What's your utility? What are you offering the community? I mean, I think this is just the aspect of maturing the space, and it's harder, obviously, right? I would have loved if those bookmarks would have minted out, or like, let's just say the punks launch tomorrow. It would be beautiful if they minted out, but that's most likely not going to happen. So we have to go to the drawing board, and like you guys were just mentioning, like coming up with interesting utility ideas that add value in ways that really bring a lot of awareness and interest to the space in general. So I'm just really happy that we're going through this, because like all those projects that minted out, well, they're not here anymore, most of them, right? Because they didn't have any ideas. Or yeah, right. Yeah. So but the way we're building and you guys are building is you guys are building for the long haul, and I think in time that obviously is going to show, and I think it already shows, but it's going to be respected by those who see who's been here and who's here and who's here really for the right reasons.
Yes, I have two team members waiting to join the room also. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, dude.
There we have Moelie, the legendary Moelie, of course.
Hey, Paulie, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Moelie.
We can see you, Torp.
Hey, Moelie.
Moelie, can you hear us? No, you can't.
What's up, Paulie? How you doing, man?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Yeah, we can hear Torp. What's up, Torp?
Hey, Torp.
I was chilling. What's up? Chilling, my boy.
I see Paulie stressed. I see him stressing.
Freaking got up early this morning, so I just got off work.
Cool,
Nice,
man.
dude.
What's
Do you want to know
everybody up to?
anything about Non-Fungible Book Club, Torp? Do you have any questions?
No, I'm pretty well versed. I've been around for a bit, so appreciate the work you guys do in the community and whatnot. And from my boy Rob Nichols, man's a musical genius. Love the man. I've been doing some art for him, so we'll.
Yeah, Rob
we'll
Nichols,
see
the
more to
man.
come. Hell yeah.
What about you, Moelie? Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us,
I
Paulie?
can, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting when I have my headphones on. I still have to unplug my external speakers from my computer so I can actually hear shit. Oh man, yeah, no, sorry, I'm late, guys. It's been a hell of a day, but good to see you guys come in. I know I missed a lot, but I'm looking forward to listening back and all the stuff. But yeah, I'm just here to listen and vibe with you guys.
So do you have any questions, Moelie, right away for Non-Fungible Book Club? Something you want to know, something you want to learn about the platform?
Oh man, damn! You're really putting me on the spot here, Murtagh.
Shoot,
I
I got questions for Paulie, man. Dude,
Okay.
Paulie, aren't you writing for Wild Bill or with Wild Bill?
Yes.
Dude, when are we gonna see you guys in something, man? I'd love to help, sponsor, get your work out, man.
So right now, Wild Bill is actually working on the art for our faction mint we're releasing. Just a heads up of what our project is about. We're doing a faction-based project where we're gonna have people in different groups, and we're gonna basically try and make it so the community is gonna compete to rebuild a rebuilding Earth. It's a futuristic post-apocalyptic setting, and we're gonna have groups competing. We're gonna try and have like battle rooms. We're gonna have different things that we want to do utilizing other platforms. We're thinking about maybe using exoworlds as something we'd like to interact with. Earth 2 is something we've been talking about doing, maybe trying to build on Earth 2. But my side of it, the writing, I'm actually looking to use things that happen in the community through the project. I want to actually discuss in my lore. So the writing is going to slowly come as things unfold in the community.
That's
so
cool,
I'm
man.
I'm planning on writing a book at least one. I might do like a trilogy. We'll see how it goes. But I actually want to give people in the community a chance to earn their way into my books. So imagine your character, you work in the project and you do all types of cool stuff and you make a name for yourself. And now all of a sudden you've got this PFP that's in this book, right? Mm-hmm. And now you have this other utility attached, as a reward for investing in the project. So we'd like to give people an opportunity. The standard is kind of like, well, just mint a bunch of them and maybe you'll get an icon or whatever. And after that you don't really have much control of your investment. We kind of want to offer a chance to do something a little different, where you have everyone starts at a more even footing. And if you want to be really involved and work your way up, and maybe you make a badass character, and a couple years down the road, some rich guy's kid wants to buy your PFP because it's in the book, and someone throws you 10 grand for this PFP, it would be cool. So we haven't talked too much publicly about it because we don't want to get that hype train started too quick. We want organic growth. We've kept things small. But as we get closer, while Bill's is getting close, we're really going to ramp up. So when I do my book, I definitely am going to be interested in speaking with you guys about, doing stuff with the NFT, the non-fungible book club. I think by that time when I'm ready to launch my book, because it's going to be a while, I think you guys will have grown a lot, and there'll probably be some really cool things that we'll be able to bring to the ecosystem. Because I think having a project that, imagine like a World of Warcraft, but it's got like a book series attached to it, right? And maybe people are out reading this book and they're like, oh damn, this book's attached to an NFT project, and then they come and check out VeChain. Or people in NFTs are like, oh, there's a book attached to this, let's go check that out. So I think we as an ecosystem, looking for ways to branch out, create brands that touch multiple markets, and offer different ways for people to be onboarded, is something I feel like we're seeing more of, and I'm excited to see where we as a community can continue to be innovative and get ready for this, what I think is going to be a major onboarding event in the next year or two, where mass adoption actually is a thing. It's not just something we keep fantasizing about. It's VeChain as an inexpensive ecosystem. A majority of the world, when mass adoption hits, isn't going to be able to go to the Ethereums or the Bitcoins. They're going to be looking at ecosystems like ours, Cardano, these more inexpensive chains. So having something like non-fungible book club is great, because that's a huge market, right? Readers, people who love books. It's a niche that I think is really valuable, and it's going to be a huge tool for us as an ecosystem moving forward when eyeballs start actually looking at us. So I'm looking forward to what you guys have going on. I think it's cool. It's a cool angle. It's unique. It's different. And from everything I've seen in the ecosystem, it seems like it's been really well received by everyone here. I'd be hard pressed if,
about that whole Reese Witherspoon's book club too. You know what I mean? Have you guys familiar with hers, where she gets a percentage? She has a book club, and if your book gets picked up for a movie deal, she gets a percentage of it. And I was like, man, that's pretty smart. You're on mute, Builder, so just know.
Yeah, I'm a boy. I'm just kind of vibing with you because, that's another idea. So I mean, that's pretty interesting. Having some kind of metric built in with a book kind of actual club type of an environment. That's pretty cool. But I just wanted to update you guys on Rob Nichols, because you brought up Rob Nichols. And we've been learning like on the fly, like how to help promote and market him as an artist, because like we hosted him, I think about a year ago, just kind of give you guys a kind of a short rundown on what happened when he first came into one of our spaces, and we chopped it up. And now to be like a year later and actually have launched his single, and to see how well it's doing, and just in a short time frame. Like it's been a couple days, and it's a small collection. He's not minting too many, as far as, I mean, like what you can actually possibly mint out. But it's like to see him kind of like moving, and we're like really trying to be that support for him. And so that's something that I've learned, is that this DApp needs support mechanisms. You need to be present. You need to be right there. Hey, what can we do for you? We got to be ultimate customer support, because it's so many moving parts, So with Rob, we're like, and so when we had yesterday, I don't know if you guys were there, but like we popped through, but it was so cool because we had no idea like how the space was going to go. We're like, Friday's going to be the launch party. We had the launch party. We all were there. He shows up. He was the host. Rob he's the biggest personality. He's got tons of energy. You don't got to do nothing. You just got to just give him the mic, let him run. And so he was just kind of like, he did his, you guys have to show up on Tuesday, because Tuesday we're continuing, because the spaces ended up collapsing. So you know how Twitter is every so often. It ended up like falling apart. So we're like, dude, we're sorry that this happened, because it was going so good. I was like sitting here like, wow, this is actually, I mean, it was like 20, 22, 23 people, probably a total of 30 at probably I want to say 45-minute mark, because we hadn't quite gotten to an hour, and then it just collapsed. And I was really hurt. I was like, yeah, man, this is a dude that we're supporting, and this thing just collapsed. So I said, dude, let's get on the horn. Tuesday, let's give him our spaces, because we need to continue this launch party. So if you guys are free Tuesday, stop in at 10 a.m. PST if you have time, just for a few minutes, because it's basically, we're just going to continue to promote him, because we don't feel that what happened to him was like, he wasn't even mad about it, and no one I was a little bit like bummed, because I was like, dude, we're trying to help you. So your art, like, come on. Like, I was like, damn, that's not cool.
But that's good that you I think that's important too, because I think that's something that I try to tell projects about Black V Market too, is like, you're not just gonna come over here and just get like put in the corner or whatever, forgotten about. There will, we got spaces and podcasts available to help push a project, you know what I mean? So there's a platform, like within a platform, to kind of get it out there. And there has got to be a way to get people over to our platforms. And it's going to just probably be more word of mouth and people, and kind of providing a way to incentivize people to do that is probably going to be the trick.
Yeah, I was in that space when it rugged. I tuned in a little late, but I caught some of it, and it rugged. I'm like, oh, damn. I kept looking to see if it got reopened, but I didn't see it open up. Unfortunately, I think Tuesday, your guys' space, I'm working during that time. But I know I do a space on Monday with Wizard from Minnow Mob, and I think he was saying we're trying to get Rob to come on our show on Monday as well. So hopefully, we'll get Rob out there on a bunch of different spaces.
What time is that? You guys are spaces? Because I'm really. Go ahead. Sorry.
We do 4 Eastern Standard until, I've gone as late as midnight, but I'm trying to keep them to like 6 hours. But because we have some European friends who like to tune in, so I tried to do a space where we could give the most amount of people a chance to tune in, at least, even if it's just 15 minutes at some point, so we'll have, 150, check-ins through the space, 200, we've had 300. And sometimes it's just people popping in for a half hour, but it's great because it's a very laid back, relaxed atmosphere. We kind of go with the flow. So we've onboarded people, it's a good place for people to come in and answer, ask questions. And I think having Rob in that environment would be awesome. I think he would really enjoy it. I think it would really give the community a chance to get to know him, because I like to talk more about the human aspect of things more than the just shilling like projects, right? Like, let's shill ourselves, like get a feel for who we are, and then, as we go through, we can talk about what we got going on, and I think we talk about do your own research. And I think I always say one of the best things about a place like VeChain and, Twitter Spaces and this podcast is actually giving potential investors a chance to learn about us, right? Because I think that's part of doing your own research too, getting a feel, obviously, manipulators are out there. You're not going to talk to someone for a couple hours and know, okay, I can trust this guy, right? But it gives you a little something extra where you can kind of hear him talk. So I really hope we get to talk to Rob on Monday. That would be awesome. And I think people will get a kick out of it. He's definitely a character. It was fun listening to him the other day, for sure. I wish it didn't get rugged like you guys.
Yeah, I think you know, the shill spaces, man, like I personally am just over them. Like if I'm listening to a space where it's like, okay, go shill for 5 minutes or whatever. Okay, you're up now, shill. And now you're up, shill. And like, yeah, I mean, as soon as I get a taste of that, I usually dip because, I mean, it's, you know, sure, we're behind computers and we have our like businesses and things, but like, let's be honest, like, can you imagine being at a party where everybody was just shilling? I mean, how quick you would want to leave that party in real life. And that's how I feel about the spaces now. We always mess around, you know, joking around that like on our Tuesday spaces, we've been doing them now since like, you know, March or something like that every Tuesday. And dude, I would argue that 98% of them, we don't even talk about what book club has in store or what we're doing, because honestly, like, I don't think anybody cares. I think people care about us. And if we're not going to open up, then we're just wasting our time and everyone else's. So we do like spotlights to help promote people, right? But like, that's because, you know, Rob Nichols deserves that, right? But even then, he's not up there being like, you know, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me, and this is why you should buy me. He's just Rob Nichols being Rob Nichols.
Yeah.
It was, let me say one other thing real quick. It was a vibe. Like, it was like, I felt like I was listening to the radio and I was listening to this dude who was basically doing a promo tour, but like in a way where it was just like, hey, we're just hanging out. He's telling stories. He's giving us his history. It was his space. It wasn't us. So that's one thing that we like to do with NFBC is like, come up, say what you got to say. It can be about anything. It's your space. Like our community, we want them to run the space. We don't want it to be just us, like you guys mentioned, up there talking, we're doing this and we're doing that. And this is going to be amazing and great. Like we've heard that 1,000 times. Like we want the community to come and like lead. And so when I only said a few things in that Friday space. I like said, happy birthday to Holly. And I said, when'd you start rapping, Rob? That's it. And it was just Rob, you know, and I love that. That's what we're about. Like Critter just said, he's like, dude, we don't do the shield stuff. So, and we try to avoid that as much as possible. So.
Yeah, I was gonna try to just feed off that too, because we do our space on Sundays, same time this one started, and I think it's more just for a place for everybody to come together, kind of keep in touch. It's more like a vibe, chill kind of place, and you know, I think we're calling it the weekly smoke out from now on, but that's why we get the regulars. We kind of have, you know, it's only 20, 30 people. It's usually only 20, 30 people, and it's always usually the same people. So it's kind of just everybody enjoying to get. It's more of a get together than, you know, an update. But and it's more organic because we get people come in. It's more unexpected. It's nothing scheduled. I've even seen in some discourse people talk about getting on our space without even asking, or you know. But I like that they know that they can do that. You know what I mean? Because they can do that. You know, I've always said everybody's welcome. And I like to, it makes me feel good that people know they're welcome. And for onboarding, that's going to be very important, because if you got new people coming into some kind of hostile space, they're just going to, you know, get discouraged or frightened or uncomfortable to ask a question, even though it might be a dumb question. And, you know, you can, we need people too bad to be having those kind of spaces. So I think everybody's been doing pretty good at, you know, especially Poly. I've been on Poly space and just listening. It's more chill, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, to your point, Krana. Ever since Vegas, what I've come to understand and realize is that there are a lot of people out there that have kind of had their eye on VeChain for a bit, but they didn't really have a chance to get to learn about it. Right. And we saw it at Vegas when we were there. Like we had people approaching us saying, oh, you know, I've been looking at VeChain for a bit, but I just didn't get into it. You know, what are you guys about? Right. And, we were talking to people and shooting the shit and having a good time, onboarding. Everyone was there. We talked about it. Critter, you didn't get a chance to talk to us about it when we started this podcast, but talking about the VFam that were there and how everyone kind of worked together, right? It wasn't like projects were competing,
Yeah, and to your credit, man, you did that a lot. I remember people coming to our booth and being like, hey, Paulie over there said you guys do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, shit, man, thank you. And yeah, dude, like we're the opportunity to form trust and friendships in this market, it's unparalleled, because once things are booming and we get the chain that we think we can have, which is like so many users on here, that trust stamp between the OGs is going to be so powerful, right? We opened up, we won't get into it, but we talked about like potential bad actors that try to enter right now, and already how the wolves are out. Like we all are ready to be like, oh, really? Tell us more about that. Oh, you don't want to answer questions, huh? Oof, Anyway, though, like right now we have that opportunity to just work together and dissolve. I mean, what? Like, are we going to compete? Let's be real. Like, are we going to compete right now over scraps and instead lose out on the ability to build together, like all of our future successes, man? So yeah, NFT XLV Poly, like that became crystal clear. Like, okay, like all these dudes have my back. Therefore, I obviously have theirs, and we move forward.
And continuing off that, since NFT XLV, I feel like we have, as a community, have tried to continue what we did there, right? Like working together, supporting each other, looking out for bad actors, like you said, trying to protect the community. And part of the reason I started my space was for the reasons we're talking about. Is I came to understand that people just wanted a place to go that didn't really know much about VeChain, that they could feel comfortable asking questions, that they could feel comfortable introducing themselves and getting to know the community. And we've seen that in spaces like the on-chain Smokerz space on Sundays, in my space. We onboarded artists this last week. We've been interviewing projects if they want to come out, being willing to ask tough questions, but in a respectful way, to give people a chance to get to learn more. The spicy network thing, we're coming off the heels of that. And, it was a mad dash to trying to get the community as informed as possible. And they, to their credit, they came on and they answered questions for a couple weeks. How the community reacted afterwards was, that was an interesting thing. But, it's really important, I think, to have spaces that don't just shill, right? Don't just come out here and pat each other on the butt and try to tell everyone how great we all are and everyone throw your money at this and that. It's like, let's get to the facts, right? Let's ask the questions that need to be asked and give every potential investor the best possible chance to make the decision they think is right for them. Doing things like this, a podcast, people can look at this and see you guys for the first time and get to put a face to the name and get to hear what you guys are about. Like, it's such an invaluable piece of the equation that can really make a difference when you're trying to move things forward as an ecosystem.
And it makes it important for retention and for people to, it's harder to leave after you meet each other in person, you know what I mean? And you can put a face on a voice. It makes it more personable, and just like I said, it just makes it harder to walk away. And I think, like I said, we're just getting started and just the beginning. I think we got VeChain has a strong foundation of those OGs like you're talking about, and I'm happy with I think it's been a very productive bear market, and I'm very proud of all the people that are still here.
Yes, definitely. I see a lot of familiar faces coming back that left us during the bear market. But I think the OGs are really, how do you say it, holding it together, man. We are all family. We've been through a rough time, right? We had the VC debacle, we had a beer market, we had several rugs, and we are still here, still building. I think it will show, man. And imagine, uh, even if the bull market will not start for another 2 years, in 2 years they're going to look at non-fungible book club platform. They're going to do their own research. They come across this podcast. They see you guys. You guys are doxed. It creates a lot of trust as investor, I think, to see the people behind the project, to meet them. And I think the most important thing that we try to create with the On-Chain Smokerz podcast and space is that people are part of our group, as if they are here with us in the room.
Part of the journey.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, I think it's going well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming in, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I think the opportunity is just what screams at me, man. Like, you know, to your point, we've seen a lot of projects dip, you know. What is, like, I'm not going to say any one in particular, but like, if you're going to build, you know, you're going to build for a community, or let's say it's just plain and simple in your head, it's a business model, right? You're building, you're going to leave at the opportune time to test, expand, build new utility for when customers actually arrive, right? So like, if we all dipped, Black V Market, NFBC, you know, the factions, Polly's factions group takes off. There's nobody here. We're all done. Thorpe's clothing, fuck it, it's all done. You know, the bull's going to return, and we know that Web3 is going to have wallet increases. And what the hell are those people going to play with if all of us take off? And it's like, that's the highest, one of the highest values here, man, is like, we're playing the, we're building the play yard, you know? Right now we have the opportunity to test and take risks with like really no downside, you know? It's unfortunate
like
that a lot of people left.
We don't really have, not like we're gonna get canceled. You know what I mean? Like, you know, how many people? 20 people gonna cancel us? You know what I mean? Like, you know. So yeah, right now is a good time to try things out.
And I think the community that we have now understand that we are building and testing, and you know, they are here for a reason. They believe. And I think that's the most important of everyone that's around at this moment, man. And I do believe that
one day we're gonna miss these days. We're gonna miss.
Yes,
we're gonna miss
100%.
this because we're gonna miss these prices. We're gonna I'm in no rush.
We will come into NFT XLV like the founder of Cardano. It was crazy how he was met there from the Cardano community. There was like 100 people crowding around him.
Yeah, they had like bodyguards, and he had like bodyguards with this guy. I don't know, he had two big guys next to him all the time. And then you got Sonny Lou just coming in, like, you know, he's just no bodyguards ever. He's in, but that's pretty cool.
No, but you gotta love Sonny though, in the sense of like just to speak on Sonny real quick. In the leadership spaces, the last 3, I guess 2 or 3 leaderships VeChain spaces. I mean, that's huge. Like, tell me what other chain has their founder come up there and ask and answer tough questions. Like the last one, I was really amazed at the questions that were thrown at him. I was really buzzing because I mean, those were some really. I had a lot of those concerns too, and it was really cool to hear him have to kind of like sit in that fire chair and like, you know, kind of respond to the community. And I think that to me is the main takeaway. I'm like, tell me what other chain has their founder or their, you know, their CEO come up and just be a part of what's happening. Even though, you know, the VeChain leadership spaces can be a tad bit more grounded, but I think it's the step in the right direction. So, but no, man, I just think that like Kranaking, the aspect of we're gonna miss these days. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It kind of reminds me of like, the startups that started in a garage. We're just kind of at that phase where we're just, heads down grinding. We got a few core, believers. Murtagh, what you were saying, you got those guys that really are just, that's just the start. That's the beginning. And I think that once you kind of establish that, you just kind of continue, and then you kind of pivot where you need to, as you grow. But no, man, I agree. I think we're going to miss these days because, you guys understand the energy during the bull anyways. It's just kind of, you're just exhausted all the time because you're checking prices and you're not sleeping. And at least I can sleep a little bit right now. So I'm kind of, I think I need to appreciate
and the
this time right
Discord is
now.
going to get even crazier. It's going to even be way more babysitting during the and the questions and all the I can't get this to work, and but we're going to miss it.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, we're going to be slammed one day. So using this time to build relationships, build your platforms, build your brand, your collections, whatever it is, right now, take it serious. I just see nothing but opportunity, man.
Yeah, Critter, to your point, something that I think we don't like, an angle of this that I don't know if we talk about is the fact that in this bear, like, we saw all these projects collapse, and what it kind of showed was how they maybe weren't built in a way that could have actually been sustainable, right? So what we're seeing is projects that are building through a bear are having to become innovative and creative and find ways to maintain a project in a struggling time, right? Which I think is changed how projects have approached doing things, right? Which I think is great. That's one of the good things about this kind of terrible situation that the bear market was, is it's kind of forced everyone to take a step back and be like, okay, things are tough. What can we actually do in a way that we're not going to end up rugging, right? How do we need to approach this? Whether it's like my project, we've kept our team very small. We've paid a lot out of pocket, so we don't have all these artists and devs and everyone waiting for money, right? So now we got all this pressure to push things, and before you know it, now you have no money and the thing fails, right? So or like a non-fungible book club, doing actual, like with the book thing, like offering opportunities that are sustainable, that you're giving a platform for people to release their own works, right? So there's you have a different people coming in and offering ways for the cycle to continue. It's not just you guys trying to like force feed and find ways to keep everyone happy, this is an aspect of Web3 I think we're going to see big, as we're seeing projects in all types of chains utilizing NFTs, whether it's token gating or as access to real world, like their jobs, like professions. Like I know a space I go to once a week. This girl, she's a therapist, and if you own a NFT of hers, you get 4 free sessions of relationship counseling each year that roll over.
That's pretty dope. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Firefly Shire girls in Cardano have a place in Costa Rica. If you own one of their NFTs, you get to spend 3 days each year down on their like place. So you see, like we're gonna
stack some of those NFTs. I got 10. I want 30 days.
I'm telling you that the NFT ecosystem that we saw before this bear, I don't think we're going to see it the same way again. I think the wave of real world utility is coming with this next bull run, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to be a part of. I'm so excited, man. This is going to be fun.
And the price and speed to use our chain for users is going to be a big deal. I mean, honestly, man, like that's an advantage that we just, I can't imagine getting somebody to come and try something that is slow, that costs a lot. Like, what? I have to pay more than the product itself to get the product, and then I got to wait 10 minutes or more. We have that advantage here, dude. It's
Did you see that post the other day? Someone shared they paid $30 in gas fees on ETH for a $1 transaction.
Yeah, that was Keela. Man. He got absolutely ripped off there, in my opinion. Like, I bought ETH NFTs. I know, dude, where I'm just like, really? So I got a budget that much for this mint? And then what happens, the risk you took as the purchaser, when that collection does what they all do when they first launch, they go high and then blop. And then, well, shit, now I have to make up my gas fee money and the cost of the NFT just to break even on this mug. Good luck explaining that to everyday users.
And pay royalties after you sell it.
Yeah.
Got factor that in too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then also, think about during the bull, those gas fees they're just ridiculous. So it was funny to watch that the last time when we were running up, and you saw the really big projects, the blue chips on Ethereum really trying to justify, this is, it's just crazy. I'm like, that's just number one, a turnoff for me to even really want to, because I guess I'm biased, but the way VeChain and the dual token system works, it's automatic. I mean, it's I could not take a project to Ethereum and think that I'm going to work that way, knowing that this system is in place. So, and it's just a matter of time. And the cool thing to see too, we're on Coinbase now. I mean, when that happened, I was like blown away because 4 or 5 years. When Coinbase, and now it's a thing. And so wait until we kind of get the return or individual. And then also to add to that as well, the way VeChain kind of used the VWorld wallet in their actual Coinbase, like earn free tokens, that was genius. I don't think any other project had that where you would instantly have a wallet at the end of it. And then, amazing. I mean, I just think that VeChain's doing it right in that sense. And I just slowly see innovation and really changes in the right direction as we progress. So I'm just really happy to be here.
Yeah, so many things. The Coinbase listing, like that for the United States, that's massive. That's where our buyers are at, right? And then you got brand recognition that we'd never seen before with VeChain, with the UFC. Like, there's so much that has happened since the last bull market. NFT projects, things to play with now for users.
Get ready.
Yeah, and then the inherent speed and price of the chain. Like, it's going to be different. I can think of projects that left where I'm just going, man, that's going to be anyway.
Yes, some projects had mass potential and they left early, man, and I think it's sad to see. But that also strengthens builders like Mob, for example. Their floor went from 1,000 FET to 300 FET, and they haven't stopped building. They are still moving forward, laying brick by brick. Golden Empire, Non-Fungible Book Club. I see a lot of guys that where the floor collapsed, and they are building harder than ever, right? Like, it actually motivated them to create something new, because we also have projects with not too much utility, and their floors are like 5, 6 the floor, the mint price. So I really think we all got how do you say it?
Distracted.
We were all forced to invent new ways.
Yeah,
you gotta be creative in this, with this community, or this ecosystem, because there's not a lot of money floating around. So you do gotta get creative, and I think that's a challenge that should be accepted. And and I think we got enough brains in our community to conquer that challenge.
It's all coming together now, man.
Yeah.
And
I know Murtagh has something he's working on that he hasn't told anybody about. He's always working on something. He don't even tell me everything. So, yeah, I'm excited about the future.
Yeah, dude, it was never this was never a casino for us. Like we have a brand and reputation that we're focused heavily on, and like, you know, we have our sales model, we have stuff like that's not built. It's impossible to casinoify anything that NFBC is doing. Like we are built so long term, like all of you guys, that it's like, you know, even if the bull came right now and and you know, there's just so much that could be gained long term is all I'm saying. To be planning on casinofying your collection or whatever, it's just like, I think that's came and gone. You know, we saw all those last cycle.
yes, the hype train is over. Now it's the time for the real builders, the real innovators. I really feel like we are all the Jeff Bezos and the Elon Musks of our time. You know, we can make the difference for Web3. We are paving the road for the main public.
Yeah,
I think we get crazy. Yeah, people are different too in the what's the bull market. People are playing with their profits, and it's a whole different environment. You know what I mean? It's like it's like a seasons. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's an abundance, and then sometimes you gotta get worried. You know, prepare for the winter, and then you gotta go survive the winter, and just, you know, we're just going through the seasons. And you gotta learn to be productive in all those seasons and always prepare for the next season. Because and when the bull market, you guys start preparing for the bear market and vice versa. So just the process.
Yeah, and the ecosystem view is just super important, man. Like, you know, I know who to refer to for the services that Black V offers. Like, you know, I know who the artists are amongst us. I know, and you know, Polly jumped on, and I knew who's a writer, so I instantly like knocked on his door, right? Like fostering that ecosystem. You know, like Connor said it best. It's like an enhancement to work together versus like any slight to any of our business models. Like we are only enhancing people's experience on VeChain by doing the stuff that Polly did at the NFTXLV, you know, the stuff you're doing right now, Murtagh and Pena, like, you know, Thorpe, like partnering with, you know, Rob Nichols, like that's enhancing our ecosystem in a way that can't be valued right now. We're all going to see the benefit of that later, or we could be dickheads and try to fight over, you know, beef jerky. But I would rather do what we're all doing, you know, and just makes more sense, man.
Two bullies can fight over a block, or they can fight together and take over the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And
yeah, man.
You know, and we could be. I think we could be that community. We could be that 1 + 1 = 3 type of environment where we do enhance each other. We do bring out the best of each other. And you know, you've seen that bundle where you grab one stick, it's easy to break, but when you grab a bunch of sticks, it's not so easy. And right now, we need to stick together like sticks. You know what I mean? Literally stick together.
Yeah, and you know, we can talk about the builders here, right? As we should, the people that are building through this and how important and great that is. But I know we also here in these podcasts like to talk about the other really important people, which is the investors that we have, the people like the Dragos and the Top Shelves and the great community members, G-Man. Great community members that are here supporting through it all. That when that mass adoption hits, they're going to be the OGs that are going to be ushering in, you know, other investors and kind of laying the foundation for what it's like to be a part of the VFam community, even if you're not a builder, right? If you're not a founder in a project, or you know, so having people like that in the community. You know, it's an invaluable thing for us. We try. I know with us on Chain Smokerz and we try to shout them out as much as we can because they really are an important aspect of this community. And You know, it's bottom of the top. You know, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So everyone in the VeChain community is a part of it. They're important, and it's going to be awesome to see new people come in and have the Dragos and the G-Mans and the Dusties and all these people welcome them in, you know, and hey, this is what we're all about. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, dude, well said. Yeah, I mean, just you could look at NFTXLV or just the day-to-day, but it's the community members that are moving people towards us, you know, towards the projects and the chain. It's the community. You know, in the same way that like Sonny spends obviously his time and money with us, he sees that with us too, you know, that the community can move the spotlight. So we're just in a period of opportunity, man, and the more we can look at it that way, the brighter the future is. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the flow of money in our space right now. It's pointless. I'm way too busy. We're way too busy building, you know.
It's at this moment, it's more important to finish the product before it really gets loose than to focus on getting paid.
Right now, everybody needs to make their net as big as possible. Make sure that net has no holes in it. That way, because when the people start coming through, we got, get the biggest catch as we can. It wouldn't take much either. I mean, to double or triple the floor price. If somebody could come in with 10 grand and do that overnight. So I think we're set up for we got high ceiling, very high ceiling here.
Yeah, it does not take a lot to move the needle in our space at all. I've witnessed it. Like I've witnessed a couple guys come in and moon a collection in 24 hours. A couple of hungry guys that wanted a piece of something, and those floors blew up. And that's another testament to VeChain too. Is the token itself, I think, is undervalued. We're talking about all the utility behind VeChain, and the market cap's low in comparison to other coins. And so if you're focused solely on that market cap right now, you could be super negative, or you could just realize that, like, yeah, what does dynamite do when it's fucking shoved in a barrel and more dynamite is shoved in a barrel? That's what we're sitting on with VeChain. So that's why I'm not a maxi, right? But like I focus a lot of my portfolio on VeChain, man.
Yes, same here. And we're trying a lot of incentives to get those crazy investors into VeChain. For example, we are now building a meme coin. I don't know if you guys saw it, the Squad. We are now onboarding the VFAM just to make sure everyone is in early. Sky from Golden Empire, he will build us the actual ICOD app. We are building it already with fiat on ramp, the swap from VeChain Energy, so every chain can buy into our meme coin.
When does that go live?
What did you say? Sorry.
When do you plan on going live with that?
You can already buy in through pre-ICO in the Discord. So we are trying to get the VFAM behind it. I think it's a great way to evolve the VNFT ecosystem in another way than that we were aiming for before. So we will also bring out a PFP collection eventually, but we are now doing it the other way around. So we are first getting the coin out. Then you can later on mint the PFP collection for the Squad token and so on. So it's basically a huge incentive to get the meme coin craze over to VeChain, because those people are the people that are really crazy with their funds. They did 100x on another chain. They coming here to do another 100x. They do 100x. They take their VeChain out. Maybe they take some profits, but they will be spending. They will be looking around for new opportunities, And if we have them with a VeChain wallet, they in. You know, they are. As soon as you see the potential of VeChain, I think you are sold. You know, and if you are a meme coin enthusiast, we will make the PFP collection stakeable for more coins. So they will get the NFT from their squad tokens. They will stake it. They will be looking at NFT marketplaces to see the value of their NFT, etc. So it's basically a way to introduce them to the entire ecosystem. You know, they have to use our dexes, they have to use our wallets, they have to. There are a lot of opportunities to utilize the meme coin.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that is a great way of attracting people to your chain, because I think meme coins, you know, say what you want. That in itself is a marketing tool if it starts to move, right? And I've seen this in the last bull run. The meme coins, you know, Dogecoin, and you know, you had um, what was the little Chihuahua one? I can't remember the name.
Shiba.
Yeah, Shiba Inu. You had Shibu, and yeah, and just various other ones. And I think that's a really smart on you guys, Murtagh, to really analyze that and then to create a variation in the sense, and then also have really cool utility on the back end that is going to actually tie into another project. So no, I think that's awesome, and I'll be looking into that ICO just to see how I can kind of get involved myself.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dope that you guys are building an NFT collection on the back end of the meme coin collection, basically that plugs right into it. I've never even heard of that, so I don't know if that's a new concept. If you guys came up with that yourselves, or is that happened before? Have you guys heard of that?
I'm sure it happened somewhere. You know, it's the internet is a big place. There's a lot of ecosystems. So I'm sure
That's true,
I'm sure someone did, but I've never heard of it.
I haven't either. Like, I mean, I'm not like you said. Like, of course, probably something close to it, or something. I'm not everywhere. Clearly, you can't be. But I think that's very interesting. So you'll have to use that token to plug into the NFT collection. That's pretty sick. I like that.
Yes, and we will start off with a small Squirtle-based or inspired collection, 2,500 pieces. We will then evolve 1,250 into a War Turtle inspired NFT. From there on, we will do 500 to Blastoise, and then 100 to Mega Blastoise, and everything will be paid in squad. Every higher level NFT will have a higher staking rate. So we will have the token will be flowing, and the main purpose of squad is to get our community the tools that other chains are bragging about, you know, using the funds that we raise from squad to get an actual DEX with trading view, for example, you know, so we can see the bars moving, so people are getting hyped for the movement, are making charts on VeChain tokens, making another swap. I think there's so much room for tools that we don't have, and I think we could utilize a token like Squad to actually build those tools for the community.
Yeah, I've been in VeChain for a few years now, and the last year and a half, I've really been in on Black V Market big, because this is how Murtagh operates. His projects, he tries to gamify. He looks big picture, utilizing different avenues of making projects engaging, and having a purpose to the steps, right? So, you know, what he's talking about, having a meme coin that you're actually using to bring funds to build in the ecosystem. You're not just like trying to do a rug pull and just disappear, right? Like, let's raise the funds we need, instead of getting people that come in and promise us, oh, they're going to bring in hedge funds, and we're going to have these hedge funders basically like probably ruling the ecosystem. Like, no, man, let's get innovative, let's get creative, let's get the funds and the volume flowing in, and create the tools that we need to make even more volume and bring even more people in. You know, we need to get that snowball rolling. And getting innovative and creative like this, I'm excited to see how it works out, man. I know I got my bag of squat. I'm looking forward to this.
Well, it's still very early. We are collabing with a lot of VeChain projects. I will drop into the group chat on Discord later on. We can
Yeah, if
definitely
you have any
create.
VeChain NFTs, you probably already have some squad. You don't even know it because a lot of teams been dropping some squad.
Yes, and for joining the Discord and holding those collections, you will also get some squad airdropped. We have a PFP incentive, so if you put the squad glasses, I don't know if you are familiar with Squirtle Squad. If you put the glasses on your PFP on Twitter, you can claim 50k squad. We are just trying to create a movement, just to unify the entire FIFAM, to create the revolution into new wallets. If I really believe that if we can get all of the FIFAM behind something like this, imagine we are still with at least 500 active people inside the ecosystem. Maybe we are not retweeting all of our shit from each other, but we are there. We are still collecting. If we can get 50% of those people behind this and get like 250 retweets on a squad tweet, on an ICO tweet, I really believe this has the potential to even pump VeChain as a coin. If we handle this right, there will not be enough volume in VeChain trading as is. That's what I believe. I really think it has the potential to create a pump for VeChain during ICO or something crazy like that. What will make people look into VeChain? It's really focused on growing VeChain as a whole, man. I think BFM proved that we don't give about money.
That's
If we
awesome.
did care about money, we would have been gone long ago.
No doubt. I just love this angle. I think this is a great perspective to have and to expand on. I mean, I think it's awesome. I have to get behind it and support it just because like I'm rooting for the ecosystem as well. I'm not just rooting for Non-Fungible Book Club. I just think that we all can benefit. And I mean, you guys are really sound, solid core team. And I mean, I'm learning a lot too in this because there's a lot of things that I didn't know about what you guys were up to. And so, man, I'm definitely going to be jumping in the Discord to kind of analyze this squab token. And how much longer is the ICO going to be open for? I'm just curious.
Well, we have some pools. So 1% of the token is allocated to pre-ICO, just for the FIFAM, and there are some other chain people flowing in already, getting some squad stuff like that. Today we launched the Goats Club collab, so some Polygon people will start flowing in. We're just trying to lay a solid foundation. We using the pre-ICO funds to create liquidity pools on VeChain and Detour, so we are available on both exchanges already. There is a liquidity pool of around 7k USD at the moment, and we have the potential to at least have it at 25k before any real ICO goes live. So we will have a healthy environment before other chains really start flowing in. At least if you ask me. And I think as FIFAM, imagine X10 or X100 or something crazy happening with your tokens. And we have a lot of incentives. So we have tweet to earn, meme to earn. You can create squad memes and earn some squad. You can tweet about squad, earn some squad. It's not... we're not even trying to profit from the FIFAM, Even if you are not spending any VeChain on squad, you can still participate in the squad token, still get your bag ready, still be a squad millionaire if you really put your soul into it. It's really a community incentive. I really try to just to unify. It's we are a small ecosystem. Let's bundle our forces.
Yeah, and it does seem like to be a trend right now. I'm hearing about Bonk, Solana, meme coin, and it seems like it's going to probably be, a 1 or 2 meme coins for every chain too. So, it seems like Squad is off to a good start, and it's been a lot of support in the Discord. I see a lot of different people you normally wouldn't see in some of the Discords are all kind of coming together behind this. So I think, like Murtagh says, if we all play it right and we all get behind it, we can all kind of win, from this. So, I like it. It's going to be fun.
The social incentives alone, how can you root against this? I mean, like you just said, Murtagh, you don't need to throw capital at it. Well, I'm going to throw capital at it, but you don't need to throw capital at it. Wow, this is really cool. This could be a nice unifying project for the entire space. And like you said, Murtagh, like if it goes crazy, think of the euphoria within the chain that you guys helped create. That would be really amazing. I got to support it. I just can't just sit on the sideline and just say, oh, meme coins are done. Well, people are making lots of money off of meme coins. And why not this chain? And why not, a really awesome project like Black V Market and you guys to be like leading this? And why not just put your, put your hat in the bag? I just think that this is pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be investigating this project for sure. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, designer, you said it. You said it great, designer. Or you said, I'm not just supporting Non-Fungible Book Club. I'm supporting VeChain, right? And I think we all need to understand that the better VeChain does, the better we do, right? We are VeChain, right? So we've been talking about not fighting over scraps and this and that. And yeah, not only do we not need to be fighting, we all need to be pulling in the same direction. Right? When VeChain blows up, we can be, Krana says it all the time. We can fight all we want when we're all, up there, but until that day comes, we all need to be pulling in the same direction. And that's our biggest, when we talk to these other chains, the one thing that they all talk about with VeChain is the community. That's our selling point, right? So we need to continue to project and show that's not just it's not just a rumor, it's a thing. The VeChain community is a thing. It's a force to be reckoned with. We're tight knit. We look out for each other. We're passionate, and we got some awesome people in this community. Whether it's Rob Nichols or whoever, we have awesome people here. We have great creative people, and we're going to get even more awesome people coming in when they see what we're doing over here. Good people look for good people. And we can't have enough good people. So we keep putting our best foot forward and showing what we're about. And we're going to get people like us coming and look out for VeChain. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, man. I can't agree more. Like, again, we're swimming in the opportunity. Squad sounds awesome, dude. I'm going to be looking into it for sure.
We have an extensive white paper, so we have a lot of information available.
It'd be awesome to read that. That's obviously linked on the Discord, or is it straight from Black V?
It's we have a Squad Discord. I try to keep Squad and Black V Market a little bit separated because Squad is something really for the community. So we also have some stickers for sale, for example, on World of V. The PFP collection will be listed on both marketplaces, of course. We have some merchandise that will use the digital side of World of V also. We're just trying to create something for the ecosystem instead of for Black V Market. And every wallet that we will get in will eventually look at all of our projects. We'll look at the floor prices over at World of V. We'll look at the floor prices on Black V Market, etc. I think a meme coin will bring another audience inside our ecosystem, and I think that's important. We are all focusing on onboarding NFT people from other chains, but why would you start collecting on another chain? For example, you are G-Man. You have like 10,000 Cardano NFTs. You are already spread way too thin on Cardano, and then people from VeChain with 500 USD volume a day try to incentivize you to start minting on VeChain. Why would you start minting NFTs on VeChain while you are heavily invested and spread thin on Cardano, for example? I just think our main focus should be people that are not into NFTs and try to get them into NFTs. Like Non-Fungible Book Club is doing a great job, you know. People that are into reading will eventually find Non-Fungible Book Club, will find some new books there. They can buy a book and after that resell it. There are a lot of opportunities for readers, you know. I'm a book reader myself. For example, I bought Murtagh. it's a book character. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Aragon inheritance cycle, but it's a character in that book, and he now has a own book just released. I paid 28 euros for it, and now I'm stuck with a book. You know, it's looking nice on my bookshelf, you know. But if I bought it through Non-Fungible Book Club, I would have been able to pass it to a family member across world, for example. You know, I would be able to sell my book and support the project because the writer will be getting some royalties and stuff like that. It's a I think when people start to realize how much they can support their favorite writer, artist. I don't care what you do on Web3 better than on Web2 because there will always be an in-between guy on Web2. There will always be someone taking profits. There will always be someone getting shipping fees or transaction fees. And on Web3, we can all it's person to person, you know. It's not with a bank in between or something like that.
Well said, man. It's why I'm here.
As somebody
it's
who,
what I believe in.
like I saw stuff on eBay, and I love when I saw NFTs that I don't have to worry about collecting money. I don't worry about shipping. It's just I don't have to worry about taking pictures. I don't have to worry about writing descriptions. It's just such an easier, you know, I don't, you know, just it's an easier experience as a seller and probably as a buyer too. So, yeah, like I said, excited about the future, and I think everybody here is doing a great job, and you guys are all like visionaries.
Thanks, man. I mean, we believe in everybody in the space for sure. I mean, if you're here for something greater than money. We know that you believe in something bigger. And man, with that said, I do have to slide. My wife's got to get to work, and I got to cover them. But I wanted just to thank you guys for having us on. This was a lot of fun, man. I planned for an hour, and I couldn't get away. This was good. I really liked it, man, and really appreciate all the opportunity this creates, man, for the whole space, not just NFBC, but I apologize. I got to leave, bro, but this has been really exciting. And I'm definitely be looking into Squad, man. And, you know, Murtagh, let's talk about that relationship between the book club and Black Bee, man. We'd love to build with you guys, because that's the opportunity we're talking about. But thank you guys, man, so much. Paulie, Pena, Murtagh, my brother's builder and designer. Thank you guys. I got to skip and help my family out. I'll see you all later. Thank you for joining,
man.
Thank you guys.
Family, brother. Thank you so much.
Take care, man. We'll talk later, man. Have a good afternoon, man.
Yep. Take care.
So, Krana, do you need your bedroom break already?
I did a little while ago. That's why I did. I was like, man, I gotta go. I gotta slide.
We have a Krana 5-minute bedroom break normally inside our podcast.
Yeah, it's supposed to be after the 1 hour mark. I was like, oh, I got union break.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. No, I wasn't sure if you'd already gotten it, because I don't think I got here until about an hour through. So I thought maybe you'd already done it, but I'm looking forward to listening back to the first hour, because I'd love to hear what builder and designer we're talking about. And there's exciting stuff going on, man. We got some cool characters that are doing some cool things. And I know for me personally, like looking around as a part of the community, it's inspired me to want to do cool things too. I think that's the beautiful thing about being in a community full of creative types, is when you want to be creative or I sang in a band for 5 years. I've done all types of different stuff. I've never been as happy as I have been in the last 6 months being a part of this community, seeing the interaction we've had with Cardano since Vegas, and getting to meet my friends like in real life and having conversations like this. Like, it's just inspiring. I'm really looking forward to what I'm going to be able to contribute. Like, I know these guys will say I'm contributing, and I understand that point of it, but to actually be a team member who's like writing and actually putting something into the ecosystem that's tangible and like people can point to and say, wow, you did that, like that's such a cool thing. I'm kind of jealous of you guys in the ecosystem that have already done that. I think it's going to inspire a lot more people to follow a path like mine.
No, I think that, like you guys talked about before, it's still so early for everyone. Like, I believe that none of us has really hit our stride. So just sharing these ideas has been very helpful. Just listening to what you guys are doing is very inspirational. And so, like, we're all still on the ground floor, even though we feel like we've done all. No, it's so early. As long as we're still kind of moving forward is everything, because we are laying foundation that no one else is going to have. And people are going to be, so who's been around? Who's here? Go there, go there, go there, go there, because they've been stable and they've been present. So I think we just have to continue, doing those things where we're just here step by step. And I think that's the formula, like just one foot after the other.
And consistency is key too. Whatever you do on a regular basis, and I think that's kind of been one of our Black V market strengths, is always something new, always something coming, always working on something. I mean, Fingabang is, the artist, and that guy's like Prince when it comes to artwork. That guy got all kinds of stuff put away that, you know how they say Prince had like 11 or some albums that never got released. That's big.
Yep.
He got all kinds of stuff out there that and he's like the Stephen King too. Always, this guy comes out with fast, but I think that counts for something.
I always call him the Avatar, the last Airbender. He can do everything. He did so many crazy shit. He can work in Blender. He can work in Photoshop. He is now building a game in Unreal Engine 5, and he basically had no knowledge at all.
Wow.
He's just learning.
Wait, who's this? Because I'm also working in Unreal Engine 5 too.
Fingabang. It's
Okay.
it's my co-founder of Black V Market.
Oh, cool,
and
cool.
our leading artist.
Awesome.
He is in our group chat on Discord.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because I'm also working right now, currently in Unreal Engine 5.3, utilizing some new tools that I didn't even know existed till like a couple of days ago. And I'm just kind of like, what the hell is this? So yeah, it's like that's amazing. We're similar, because also traditionally trained 2D artists who self-learn 3D art basically, and now doing kind of a combination. Mostly a 3D artist now, but the stuff that you can do in Unreal Engine now, 5.3 with Nanite is just, it's unreal, man. So like we're definitely we're right there. We're right there. Man, I'm just drowning. Like yesterday, I'm sick and I'm just sitting here just working like, oh, I gotta get off my computer and go to bed, but I just can't stop, But so yeah, it's sky's the limit,
Yeah. So Kranaking, what you're saying in regards to like consistency, man, that's been me and Builder's like just motto, like you were just talking about, you guys as artists, the same thing, just grinding, learning nonstop. Blender's now our main 3D application because it's an open source app that has a lot of amazing developers that can support and create really amazing tools to make everyone's lives easier. So we just really want to we've been taking advantage of that, and I just like, oh my God, what did it take me so long to get to Blender? And that's the funny thing, talking about VeChain being an underdog. let's talk about Blender for 1 second. Blender used to be the laughing stock of 3D applications. Like 8, 10, 15 years ago prior, it was free. And nobody used it. Only like kind of novices or hobbyists kind of used it, right? Because what happened, the big applications, Maya, which is a big 3D, and 3ds Max before they merged, because now they're together.
Autodesk basically owns all of it.
Yeah, Autodesk owns both now, and then there's a few other big applications, but those were the standard because schools they got ahead and got in control of the institutions and the learning institutions to force those to be the standard. So then you had to fork out all this money. Now, obviously, as students, you learn how to just crack these applications because students can't afford to pay for any of this stuff. And now fast forward to the present, when Blender kind of started to create this, not just the whole open source component, but they started to kind of put on these big conferences annually to help kind of foster the idea of this application expanding in the direction that its community actually wants to utilize. It's taken over. And that's kind of how I look at Web3. Web3 being something similar, like catering to those who want to be in that ecosystem that you're a part of. It's like I just wish that the days were longer, man, because there's so much. I'm so spread thin right now on another project, and just hearing what you guys are doing, I like want to get in and like, what are you guys doing? Like, how can I help? It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I love what you guys are doing. Like, this has been such a really awakening for me to see what else you guys are, not just a marketplace. Holy crap, you guys have some really amazing, innovative ideas and concepts, and that it's just really blowing my mind right now. So we definitely have to talk and figure something out, because this is pretty awesome.
Isn't it amazing how small VeChain is, and yet we're still like, this is the kind of space that we're meeting each other and like actually finding out, oh, there's this going on in our little ecosystem that I didn't know about. It's kind of crazy to think that, right? Because we think of if VeChain's got that small town vibe, and you just feel like you assume, oh, I know everything that's going on in VeChain, right? I know everybody. But that's not really the case, right? So having things like this where we can connect with the community that maybe we would never even get a chance to interact with, just because our circles don't necessarily bump into each other, or whatever the reason is. I think the fact that we're able to do this podcast and have you guys in here, it's awesome. And I'm looking forward to, how our relationships, like how that stems from this moving forward, and what we can do together moving forward to help the ecosystem,
Absolutely. And I gotta, a part of that too is my own fault, in the sense, as an artist, as a creative, I'm always heads down grinding in a silo, typically. Like, I would love to live on Spaces, but man, I'm going to have to do better. So in the sense of just like checking out you guys' spaces and just kind of hanging out for a little bit, even while I'm working or doing something, because it seems that I've been missing out on some pretty interesting things that you guys have been doing. But no, I got to take accountability and responsibility too, in the sense, because when I'm not focused on NFBC, I'm working on a bunch of different things. But honestly, the potential is is looking right at me. I think the universe keeps pointing me back to Web3. It's like, no, I need to go and try to break in over here and do this and do that. And then the universe is like, no, turn your head back to the direction that you're looking. You got to still build relationships here, and you need to just really make it work in this. The universe is like, I'm showing you where you need to be. So stop trying to distract yourself. You're going to have to make it work in this pond, because I'm showing you where you need to be. And this conversation right here is another affirmation.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah,
it's the beginning
absolutely.
of long-lasting relationships. Just the beginning.
And especially that, people that are here, really here to be here. Clearly, like, there's not a lot of liquidity, right? We all know this. So, like, if you're here, you're really here. Like, if you're not here stunting, like during some like bull run where you're like, yeah, I know everything and I make everything. You know what I mean? That's kind of how the energy is during bull runs. Everybody's just walking around like they're a master. But then like at this time, like nobody's caring about when I try to bring up, blockchain, anybody, they're like, oh, that fake stuff that's not making any money. Like they don't know what they're talking about, but who's real when they're around now, So
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, agreed. And designer, I feel you, dude. I feel like the last 6 months, the universe has been sort of funneling me in a certain direction. It's weird. If you're paying attention, you start to notice sometimes maybe opportunities coming out of nowhere, things just popping up, and they get a little philosophical. I've when people ask what's the meaning of life, and I've come to the feeling that the meaning of life is to give life meaning. So how we look at our experiences and our opportunities and what we do with them moving forward really makes the difference. So like how you look at these opportunities, like we're all five of us sitting in this room, and this conversation is going to mean something different to each one of us, right? But it still could be meaningful to all of us. So we leave this conversation and it's like, all right, do we do something with it? If the answer is yes, then it's like, okay, cool. Now we're all moving in a direction together. I think these kind of conversations can be so great for each one of us on an individual level and as an ecosystem, right? So, yeah, I'm torn. I don't know if everything happens for a reason or if it's all just a mess of just I have no idea. But I do tend to treat life like everything happens for a reason. I think if we treat our lives as if there's a purpose we're trying to find, then it makes things feel a little less shitty and hopeless, right? So I've enjoyed getting to meet you guys. This has been fun. I feel like this has been a great conversation to be a part of.
I agree. I'm going to second and follow up with that. Like I knew about Black V Market, but I haven't made the connection. I think I was in a spaces with you a long time ago, briefly.
I know.
Sure you do. It was like very brief. Keela was in there, and I jumped in there, and it was like very brief. Mm-hmm. This was a long time ago, and you probably don't remember because how many spaces have you been in, right? So,
but I think Critter was there too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think Critter was there as well. Yeah. And then we all migrated somewhere else. But like, I need to do better about, because if I can find out, because my times I'm all over the place too with work and stuff. But like, if I can find out like who is running the space now that I've made this human connection with you guys, and when, that gives me more incentive to go, okay, I need to plug in because these guys are cool. I've met them. I've talked to them because I'm so like there's head down grinding.
Even if you just drop in and listen.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Just listening.
You don't have to come up and speak. Even if it's like in the background, it all helps out. You know what I mean? It's all makes the room look full, and it's it all helps. And you don't have to just listen in. Sometimes like usually when I listen to Polly's, I'm coming home right after work, and the Mondays is usually like I said, I do eBay, so. I'm usually listening to it while I'm packaging my stuff up, and then I kind of get it ready. Then I get off when I have to go drop it off. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I'm doing two things at once.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I wasn't even meaning that in a way where like I'm jumping up to even add to the conversation. Oftentimes it's just to support and just listen to the conversation. It's not about running the conversation. No, that's not what it's about. But no, I'm with you 100%. If it's just even just listening is everything. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I work at least 40 hours a week, and I probably now average 3 to 4 hours of spaces every day. And I'll tell you, man, it's a lot. It is a lot. The weekends are crammed. I have at least one space I join every day during the week, including my own, which has gone as long as 8.5 hours. Not going to recommend doing that. But yeah, I think the value in it is just being aware of what's happening, right? And even if you're not listening intently all the time, like Krana said, if it's just on in the background, like you at least have an idea of what's happening. And I'm averaging that many because I've actually been actively engaging with the Cardano community a lot more, going to Cardano spaces, getting out there, spreading the word of VeChain, showing them what we're all about, becoming part of their conversations. It's been a lot of fun getting out of our little echo chamber. I still love and appreciate the VeChain family. It's my home. But it's good to get out there and meet new people, establish new relationships. You can never have too many good people in your life, and it's been fun. I try not to look at all these spaces as work. I try to look at them as an opportunity, and obviously life happens. You got to do what you got to do, but I think it's a nice part of my week that I get to feel like I'm part of something bigger than myself, which I think is what we're all here to try and do, right? Be something that's bigger, be a part of something, and put something out into the world.
Absolutely, man. You're just speaking on community, right? And I think Web3 allows us to kind of foster community without being so isolated, because it's so funny now. We have this technology, everybody has a smartphone, but they're all in their own little silos. There's like a loneliness epidemic that's happening right now with just everyone. It's because everybody's being fed all this information and content, but we're forgetting to connect. But I think that's not. But the beautiful thing about Web3, it takes advantage of that technology. We're having a conversation right now. Spaces, for instance, like our spaces yesterday with launching Rob Nichols and the euphoric kind of component that kind of created was people making that happen, not the technology. And I think that's the really awesome aspect of Web3. It really rehumanizes us with this technology. And unlike Web2, it's like, go to this site, buy this widget, and I'm done with you.
Yeah, and you don't know who the guy owns the thing. The guy, you don't even know where he's from, who he is. You got teams doing all types of stuff behind the background, and the only person you hear from is the guy they hired to do the commercial or whatever. Whereas you come to a place like this and you're having conversations with the head of a major marketplace. You're getting introduced to actually the leads of projects you're interested in, getting to ask questions. It's a whole different world that you can, like I touched on earlier when I started, do your own research. We actually have access to the people who are selling us shit, and we can get a feel for them and decide, do I trust that guy or not? He gives me the ick, I'm all set. I don't need that. Or you know what? This dude seems authentic. I like where this guy stands. I like where this person's head's at. I'd like to invest in this person. I'm gonna go buy some of their NFTs. It offers us a chance to invest in things for something beyond just what a spreadsheet tells us, right? Beyond looking at just a stock exchange and seeing, oh, the market I think is going to trend here. Put $5,000 into this thing. We can actually attach an emotional and personal aspect of it, where I invest in people more than I invest in projects. That's how I approach it.
I think that's just a great perspective to have, and that's what you just kind of defined was the beauty and highlight of what Web3 is. So yeah, it's awesome. And dude, I commend you, full time and that many hours in spaces, or just being socially available. Holy crap, that's awesome. I gotta level up my game.
Yeah, so like a lot of those spaces cross chain, like you said, Cardano. You said that VeChain is your home. So is strategic, or you just kind of, you found some other spaces that you like? Answer that. Like, how do you navigate?
So it's both, right? I found spaces that I genuinely enjoy. So on Sunday we have on-chain Smokerz pod, and then right after that is the Mad V Apes group. Then after that, the Cardano Ministry goes for 3 to 4 hours. So I tune into there. Monday I've got my show. Tuesday we got the World of V Hangout, and then sometimes some other shows. Wednesday, I have 2 that I like to tune into that are both on Cardano. Thursday is my psychologist friend I was telling you about, the relationship advice guru. And there's sometimes other spaces, the Thursday. Friday, the Stevie and the Wild Cards on Cardano, and usually there's some other stuff. Saturday, we got the Samurai Saturday with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Warriors, and then of course this. And then the Book of Ikigai and Cardano is a space I like to tune into for UFC events. So yeah, I've tried by finding spaces I enjoy. It doesn't make it feel like as much of a job, you know. If it was just going into as many spaces as possible, you're gonna burn out. Like if you're not enjoying it, you're just gonna be like, nah, I can't do this anymore, you know. So it's that trying to find that balance of I'm getting out there to get people seeing I'm there, right? But at the same time, I'm there because I want to be there, right?
Absolutely. I think that's awesome. Can you tell me again, when is the Black V Market Spaces?
It's Sundays 11 a.m.
11 a.m. I wrote it down. Okay, Sundays 11 a.m.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Same time as this started tomorrow, basically.
Okay, got it. Cool. How long does that typically run? Is it?
It's 2 hours.
Okay,
2
hours.
I'm pretty good about wrapping up after 2 hours.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if you want to come into my space on Monday, it starts 2 hours after. So it usually starts, I guess,
1 p.m.
Pacific time.
Yeah, we're West Coast. Yeah, specific
so
time.
It'd be 1 p.m. and I'll usually go 6 hours. So even if you didn't pop in till later, you know, I usually the idea is I keep it long form so people can pop in, talk for a half hour if they want, head out. Next person comes up, they want to chat, and we just kind of go with the convo however it goes, you know. So there's no real commitment. It's kind of one of those, hey, if you're bored, pop in. Let's shoot the shit, get to know each other. You can get to know some of the community that maybe you don't know. You know, it's kind of like a hub where people can just kind of go and whatever's happening, we talk about it.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, that's thank you for the info, and yeah, I'll definitely be making myself a tad bit more available in regards to just because I mean this is how we learn more about each other too, right? So yeah, no, this is cool. This is awesome. This is really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. And always welcome on the podcast, of course. If you guys build something new or have something exciting or even have a clip to share, just communicate with us and we will paste it into the edit afterwards. We will get it going, man. We are here for the VeChain. That's most important thing that we are fighting for, you know.
How long have you guys been doing this? Is this relatively recent, or has this been going on for a while?
It's pretty new. This is the 4th episode.
Oh, okay.
And we do it bi-weekly. So
okay.
Almost 2 months.
Got it. So pretty new, very new. Right on. This is cool. I think the only other person, we did only one interview before, not to, but like that was just somebody in the VeChain. It was Tricky's. I don't even know if he still does his kind of
You haven't seen Tricky in a while, but
yeah, I don't know if he's doing it anymore or not, but yeah, like
truth, those are like I always tell people, that's how I got kind of on the Black V Market team, as I saw Murtagh and Fingabang on one of Tricky's videos on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, man, I can get behind these guys. I kind of like strengthened my belief in them, and yeah, I probably wouldn't be in the situation on being on the team if it wasn't for that video. So you never know what one video could change, So that one video changed my life, I feel like. So I gotta give credit.
No, that's dope because I don't know if anyone is anyone else in the space doing long form like you guys are. I don't know.
I don't. I think we are the only YouTube platform representing VeChain at this moment.
Yeah, I think so too.
And that's also why we started it. Me and Krana were discussing it a long time. You have to know that I think this idea is already spinning in our head for at least a year. And yeah, we pretty much felt the shift in market, after the NFT XLV event, and the space getting a real listener platform. It was time to evolve the platform with a podcast. So we started off with Spaces. I think Krana already is doing Spaces for at least a year and a half in the name of Black Fee Market. So this was a logical next step inside that platform, and also to create more avenues for content about VeChain. We will pull this podcast through AI. It will chop it up in short video content, and we will share it on Instagram, on TikTok, on all the platforms. We just try to create a huge bubble. It's we are solely focused on Twitter, I think, as community, and I see some Instagram accounts popping up, but we also have to look into other branches. YouTube Shorts is a huge thing. We had one pre-viral clip with Lambo, VeChain for Lambo from No Nerds Inc. I don't know if you know the guy, but it had 2,500 views. So it's doing pretty good. We had some watch hours. It's just to create some more noise for VeChain in general.
It's just the beginning too. We're just getting started. We're gonna get better at this. We'll get better equipment. We'll get better, charts
One day.
and presentations and all that. And but we're just learning, and we just want to be accessible.
Yeah, and
One
it's
day we
like
will
you
fly
said,
out our guests.
it's
We will
early.
fly out
Like
guests.
these episodes are all documented, right? So you know how it works. Down the road, if it becomes popular, we'll get a whole bunch of people watching old episodes. So having all these out there, people can go back at any point and watch these. So I mean, all it takes is one. All it takes is one to blow up, and all of a sudden, people go back and start watching all of them. Or they just watch that one and they come to VeChain. Whatever the hell works, right?
It can be one short, one controversial thought, one YouTube short that blows up enormously. It's in the hands of something bigger than us.
Yes, sir. Oh man, we're getting philosophical. I love it. I love me some philosophical discussions. I try not to get too preachy with everybody, but damn, I feel like I always just try to inject it. But it's to your point, Murtagh, we have been so heavily invested in Twitter and X, and I know a lot of other chains, like some of them don't use X at all. Like some actually use Twitch, right? Some are big in Twitch, which was interesting. I spoke with some people from a different chain that because streaming, so a lot of gamers streaming, and so Twitch became their thing, right? Some people are more with Instagram, which like you said, Murtagh, we're trying to get into as well. There's a lot of different. I was on Facebook the other day talking with someone, and they're like, "Oh, you're still on Twitter?" And I'm like thinking to myself, like, "What? Like, is that? Are there?"
No, exactly. Do you have this in reverse, sir? What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't say that because it was a girl and I didn't want to, offend her. But I was thinking it. I'm like, I think you got this backwards. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
This is how I see it too. I just reconnected to my Facebook account, and I'm just kind of like, what the hell is this? It's just like so like shit everywhere, and it's just like I'm like, I'm gonna go back to X, Twitter, whatever the hell we want to call it. But like that's kind of like been my, because of it still being, blockchain, digital assets mainstay. It's kind of where my social media home is,
Yeah. Facebook's good for keeping in contact with family and friends that you grew up with and everything, right? You've established, but yeah, I almost never go on there anymore either, especially being in this community. You know, like I've established much better friendships here than I ever did in real life, you know, because it's, I mean, I had that. We can go into a long philosophical discussion about that. We don't need to. Point is, I've come here and found something that I couldn't find in any other community before. So I've really found myself heavily invested in doing things here, and I'm not looking back. It's been great. So and it just keeps getting better.
I also wanted to add that one other thing, because we keep talking about we all need to kind of be, you know, we need to work together and things. And I think because this has been such an easy conversation, I can say that, like, if you guys, for whatever reason, you need like visual aids, artists for anything, like, don't hesitate to hit us up, because Darren and myself, Critter is a writer, like, collaborations should also be a part of. And I mean, and this is just, I'm just speaking in general terms. Like, I'm not trying to speak businessy or anything like that, but like that helps to cement the bonds between us too. So just know that, like, if you guys have any, even if you want feedback on something, or your artist wants to just kind of chop it up, we'll probably try to do the same.
It's already crossed my mind, Bill, that I've already got you. I already got something in plans for you. So,
but like real true collaboration, like where it's just like, hey, like, you know, like we're just willing to work across, you know, the table as well. We're not just trying to like look out just for NFBC or ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we definitely are about true, like, lifting people
about the
up.
squad. So
Yeah.
about the squad.
There you go. Right.
You know, we got the squad mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that it just needs to be said. Like, you know, I don't want this to just be a conversation, but if you guys, and maybe you don't, like, and that's okay if you don't, like, but if you need visual assistance with anything, like, or like I said, Critter is our developer. Like, we definitely want to help out other teams where, like, we could help you out and not even be named, you know, in certain aspects of, like, it's just like you guys' thing, you know, because it's not about just us, it's about all of us. So we're not here just for just us, you know what I mean? So
it's been evident too in, you know, like Sky, he came from the Golden Empire, you know, team, and done a lot of work for, you know, for Back V markets. So, you know, it's already happening. You already see the, you know, the assistance, or the coming together and building together. So it's, you know, it's a beautiful thing to see, and it's you know, we're just kind of stacking Legos right now. We're gonna get this together.
Yeah, Sky. It is even Sky built the back end for my project Sagas as well. So we're building a little web here. And collaborations. You talk about collaborations, and people throw that word around, and in the past, sometimes like collaboration is like, oh, we attach this trait from a project on our PFP collection or something, and it's like, that's not, yeah, no, actually engaging and, like, you know, interacting, doing things, like working together. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing. I know for me, you know, as someone who's working on writing for my project, when that gets in full swing, I definitely would love to be interacting with you guys on that, and getting feedback or getting ideas of what we can do to actually.
I just want to interrupt you by saying I'm not a writer, so you don't want to come talk to me about your literature. You want to go to Critter.
You know, but you know, it's a collaborative effort.
No, but I'm just basically saying I'm an art dude. I don't write anything. I just wanted to underline that. But you're right, though. I think, not to joke too much, but like, absolutely, like, if you're interested in our platform down the line, absolutely, we would love to have you. But like, we're not here, like, I'm not trying to shield. I just really want to be in real supportive, like, genuinely a supportive way, you know?
Yeah.
You would have a good voice. You would have a good voice to speak in an ebook.
Oh, you mean like be an audio villain or something?
Yeah.
Hey, I've never done it, so I'm down, man. I definitely could be that villain.
No, I know you're not shilling. I know you're not shilling. I know how it goes. You know, we're having a great conversation, and we want to, like, keep it moving. You know, keep building that relationship. We got some awesome people in this room. We gotta continue the fight, and keep pushing in the same direction, like we talked about earlier. You know, good people got to work together and for the greater good. And I know Krana and Murtagh are agree with me 100%. They agree with you guys, and that's the beauty of doing things like what we're doing right now. Not to get too sappy, but I get sappy.
I also think the community really appreciates putting a face to us all, man, and I really think it helps us grow as an ecosystem to get to know each other. Las Vegas was a huge event, man, and for example, Paulie was always a beloved community member. He came to Las Vegas on his own expense, decided to join our booth, and even after one day, Krana was whispering in my ear, "We should onboard Paulie to Black V Market team." And then Moelie from Golden Empire, he was also there. He was also telling me, "We have to onboard Paulie." And then I started thinking, and I was like, yeah, we have to onboard Paulie before anyone else sees his potential. He was selling Black V Market as if it was his as if he was selling his soul to the devil. You know, he was really going for it. You know, and I was kind of lost. You know, it was super big there. I tried to network a lot. I tried to stay at the booth, but I tried to be everywhere. And yeah, Paulie basically holds the booth down while I was networking with people. I was smoking outside. I think I spent more hours smoking weed at the convention than I actually spent at the booth. But it was a huge, a huge, how do you say it? A big lure. Krana provided the booth with some weed and some pre-rolls. I was just walking around with a loud bag. People were saying, "What do I smell? What do I smell?" And I told them, "Come join me to our Black V Market booth." And there was Paulie welcoming them with open arms. They could spin a fortune wheel. They don't get a pre-roll. We just give them a pre-roll. Everyone happy. They spread the word. New
You guys
people.
were generous, man. Generous.
People were
No,
enjoying.
but Murtagh, what you're explaining though is like that's the beauty of Web3. And this is one thing that I just I'm just get disappointed in the gaming industry, and I'll highlight this point. Like if you look at like World of Warcraft or just any big game that has this like huge community, right? In the Web2 universe, that they get taken advantage of. Like those are the people who care the most about the game, about the component of the game. They buy into the lore of the world, and then it's still Web2 is still just buy our expansion. Oh, we want to milk you, buy these skins. We'll just keep, let's just keep milking them rather than, like, for instance, if you look at Web3, like people who are like Paulie should be paid the most because those are I call it, it's like Paulie is kind of like the non-commissioned officer of the community, like that, the most integral, important element of just showing that they really care. They love being in the space, and the energy and the euphoria that they have for what they're doing just kind of bleeds out into everyone else, and it just attracts more people. And I think the gaming industry has dropped the ball on the people who like were really into building huge community networks. Like let's just use World of Warcraft for instance. Giant like guilds and people who are like really. I mean, I was in a serious guild once, and we had meetings on Sunday, and I mean that's crazy to think about. But these were people that there's so much value there that is not really taken advantage of, and Web3 allows like you guys to see his potential, and then you could just say, hey, now we need this guy. And I've heard so many other stories of other communities having ways of onboarding people who just were there and they just wanted to be there. That is the missing component from Web2, and I'm happy to. Well, I'm not mad about it because I think that's what Web3 is really going to take advantage of. And so it's really cool to hear that story, because I just think that like you got to prove yourself. Or maybe, Paulie, you didn't even know you had the skill set, as far as you were just so passionate, it just came out, and then you're just a natural in that sense. Or you always had this kind of skill, right? and then you just were able to like utilize it, right?
Yeah,
And
none of
people
that
just did
matters.
it.
The fact that you just showed up and you were doing a damn good job, and everyone saw your value is like that needs to be valued to a certain.
Absolutely. And the thing that hurts Web 2 is, oh, you got to apply, and then you got to go through this shitty interview process, and then you got to go through LinkedIn, which to me is kind of a scammy. I'm like, is it working? I mean, I don't know, but this is how you build your teams. This is how you build your networks. You know, the people who are here now in this bear, this is how you show your trust, you know, in the sense like, hey, we were in the trenches. We were in the, it was raining every day.
Any community member can come on board and just pitch in and start, doing work. You know what I mean? I think even like when I started out like V-Market, I was on the Flame Space just providing like weekly updates. And
That's right.
I remember,
It was you, Krana, that was that was in that spaces. Like, I don't know why I remember that, but you kind of were like leading it. I came in and you kind of invited me up, and I was like, it was my first time in the spaces actually. That's why I remember it. But anyways, continue on.
Yeah, but so I started off on the Flame Space, and I think I remember I asked Murtagh, hey, is it okay if I do this for Black V-Market? He wasn't really getting back to me. And I'm like, he probably don't trust me, because I was like one of those community members. I was complaining in the beginning, you know what I mean? I didn't really come in, on my best foot. So to find out, like, I'm just gonna do it, you know what I mean? Like, and I think I just kind of like forced my way into that position, but. You can't do that on the ETH platform or some of these bigger ones. You just can't, work your way into the community. And I think that's the beautiful thing about VeChain.
I think the entire Black V-Market team is built this way. So when I started off Black V-Market, it was with another guy. We had some rough times. He had to take care of some in real life shit, and he left the boat basically. I was left alone. Fingabang jumped in, helped me with a second collection for VeTux. He launched his own project. From there on, we collabed on Black V-Market, so he basically became my 50-50 partner in Black V-Market. He committed himself to digging it full time. After not minting more than 300 NFTs, I believe, he told his boss to fuck off when he made 100k FET, and it was at the time that FET was 10 cents. So I think it was like 6k that he was betting on, and he basically joined me in my battle with Black V-Market with only 6k in his pocket. So that meant a lot. After that, Kranaking joined our little clique. He was constantly stalking us for news from Black V-Market. He was constantly pushing inside our DMs. Just tell me something new. I can drop in Flame Space. We have Need to Die Twice. A huge shout out to him. He started off with investing in VeTux, and he basically rolled into the team, just by helping me with airdrops, making it possible that I can easily add whitelists. He has some technical knowledge with coding. So the entire team is built this way, they just rolled inside. So we started off with a basic conversation, then it evolved in a collab, then it evolved in something more. For example, Moelie from Golden Empire. We have a mutual friend in real life, but basically he had a project, we had Black V-Market, and we were pretty loose from each other, but now we launched a clothing line together. We are now building a clothing brand as a real collab. Their developer is working on Black V-Market stuff. I'm helping them with some front end stuff. It all comes together, and I'm really enjoying it, man. And I think not to praise ourselves too much, but I think we have a real powerhouse over at Black V-Market at the moment, man. And I think it's still underestimated. But as soon as the bull breaks through, I think we have a lot of potential. We have a lot of utility ready. For example, we have a breeding platform, a burn portal. We have gamification that we can implement in every collection. It doesn't matter. We have a battle room. We have a staking dashboard. We can provide tokens. We can provide ICOs, initial NFT offerings. We can basically provide everything. And yeah, it's all built thanks to the community and the people that joined in on the journey. It's not that I had the possibility to do it all alone.
Yeah, I probably have over 1,000 Black Fee Market NFTs.
Also, huge
It's
shout
a
out
bit
to G-Man.
G-Man. Oh man,
Without G-Man, I think the entire fam would be gone by now, man. This guy is investing his life savings into our dreams, and yeah, he just has to know we all appreciate him, man. We love you, G-Man.
Yes.
But we love all the investors, even if you are investing one NFT or
Yeah,
investing your time to tweet about the project. It's all love.
Community. For any other community, we wouldn't trade our community. So
yeah, we might not have the volume and the size of the community, but the people we have are awesome. They're real ones. It's a positive, supportive bunch. We bust each other's chops, but it's never been toxic. I've never felt like it was gross in any of the discords. It was all just people having fun, supporting each other. We're the underdog, right? So I guess it's a little easier to feel like you're all on the same side when you're feeling like the underdog. But what Murtagh's been able to do with all of his projects, Dragons of Singapura, the Gangster Gorillas launching on 6 different chains, which is, I could tell designer didn't know that. Yeah, we've already launched on Algorand. We've got HBAR we just launched on. We're going to be launching on Cardano, I believe XRP and Ethereum to end it. So each project, this guy's got innovative new ideas and ways to approach it. And I've just had such a blast being a part of it, man. Even just as an investor, like before I was a team member, used to drive Murtagh nuts because I'd be constantly asking him, dude, like, what's it? I'd be asking him questions all fucking day. And he probably wanted to beat me over the head with a skateboard or something. But, I just, I've always appreciated the product that he tries to put out there. And I can't wait for them to actually get traction.
Yeah, Paulie come up on the space. We talk about one of the projects. He's like, "Oh, I gotta call my bank. I gotta call my bank.
I have some cool info about Gangster Gorillas. Hey, I'm Stoned will develop something cool for us. Each chain will have the possibility to stake their NFT on VeChain and receive a token based on VeChain for Gangster Gorillas. So even if you hold the HBAR Gorilla, you will have to verify your VeChain wallet, and then you will get tokens on VeChain for your HBAR Gorilla that will eventually be used inside the metaverse.
That's sick, man. That's like basically pointing everyone back to, you got to go back to VeChain. You got to that's so awesome.
Wait, did you say Stone helped you guys with that tool?
Yes.
Dude, that's freaking phenomenal. That's amazing. Holy crap.
He built it for goats. So the Goats Club, it is already dripping on milk on VeChain for their Polygon collection, and that's what got me thinking, So huge shout out to Goats Club for that ID. And I just approached Stoned and I asked him, would you be able to make this tool for this chain? And he was like, yeah, people only have to verify their VeChain wallet and then I can make it possible. And we just came to a deal. And it's going to be built, man. 6 different chains have to get a VeChain wallet, get that token. The game will be built in Unreal Engine 5. That's what Finga's building.
Mm-hmm.
The SDK is available thanks to Exo Worlds. So also a huge shout out to Actual Worlds. They already made the SDK for wallet integration on VeChain. What makes it even easier to build this whole metaverse thingy on VeChain for Gangsta Gorillas. So people will have to eventually have their VeChain wallet to participate inside the metaverse. So yeah, it will be I hope it will be a huge influx of new people.
I have a quick question. Is this exclusive for Gangsta? This is a Gangsta Gorillas ecosystem? It's for that NFT to your character to, or is the goats? Or is it separate?
It's Gangsta Gorillas. It's Gangsta Gorillas.
Okay.
Yes.
That's dope.
So yeah, Goats Club came up with the idea of a double chain drip. So their token is dripping on VeChain for their Polygon and their VeChain collection. But the metaverse is built for Gangsta Gorillas. We had some plot mints. We have all kinds of utility for Gangsta Gorillas. But yeah, it's all coming together inside the metaverse eventually. Finga is building a playable demo, so you will be able to walk around in some buildings, etc., just to have a look around at how it's going. We shared some images already. It's
you guys have shared some images of that. I'd like to see that for sure, man. I'm definitely interested in seeing not that anything that's unreleased, but like if there's images that's I want to see like the style of the game that you guys are trying to is it super representation?
I think Murtagh's getting ready to share his screen. Is that what you're?
Yeah. You don't have to though. I'm not trying to.
Oh no, it would be good so people watching this can actually see it too. This would be. I could see him. He's yeah. Yeah. No, it's cool. What's cool about this, the podcast is we can actually share our screens, so we can show stuff on the podcast as we're talking. So at projects we can show, websites or whatever.
Finga will hate me as usual, but
it's for the podcast. It's for a good cause.
I think that what you guys have come up with utility wise is just like you didn't just close yourselves off. You're just trying to come up with new ways of innovating. That's really phenomenal. I think that's really, really awesome. I'm like right now working with Stoned on a side project outside of NFBC. It's going along. It's going really well. Holy crap! Enough about that. That's awesome. That's cool.
Let me get another one up.
Yeah, it looks wild, and he's building for he's doing this for thugs as well, right?
Thugs will be crazier, man. This is poly, so it's basically not as high tight, but Turks will be in GTA 5 style, so it will have real humanoid characters, etc. But yeah.
Oh my god, this is great.
This is dope.
Disappears and starts.
Very cool. The physics is great too. That was super dope. Yeah, awesome.
Wow, that was really cool.
Yeah, Finga's always cooking up stuff. I don't know how he does it, man. Like I mentioned earlier, he's the avatar. He's the last airbender. He made oil painting style NFTs. He made 3D NFTs. He made comic NFT. It's absurd what this guy puts out, man. And yeah, huge shout out to Fingabang, because without Fingabang, Black V Market would have been nowhere, man. Even the last the biggest NFT that we released for Black V Market, I think, was Metalands. That was our last big mint. I don't know if you saw it pass by. Fingabang did the art, and it really changed the environment for us. So yeah, it's crazy what Fingabang can do. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I love the fact that you guys are creating a metaverse, which is dope. I had no idea that was something that was being constructed for at least you said Gangsta Gorillas, so that's pretty sick. Yeah, we're thinking about doing something similar. We're not sure if we're gonna go about building for our master collection, but we're going to probably have to do something like that. But there are works of another type of ecosystem that we can maybe port over to. So we're not sure how we're going to go about it. But now that I've been dabbling in 5.3, I'm like, it's definitely doable. And I'm like, we don't know which direction we're going to go yet. So it's just kind of like up in the air. But no, that's pretty sick.
I think even if you make like a small metaverse that you will host for like a week, a month, and just use 3 weeks to build a mini game inside. Then 1 week you play the mini game with your entire community, have a leaderboard, reward them with some NFTs, or I don't know. It's open for all of us. You don't have to have your metaverse live all of the time. It can be event based. If it's built, it's built.
Well said.
There
Well said.
are metaverses. Like a couple months ago, I went into the Cardano Farmers Market, and they held it in this metaverse that basically like rents out to like communities. So there are metaverses built where like you can pay to use their metaverse, and so you can just say, yeah, we want on this date our community wants to do some stuff, and you can go out. So if you
Imagine
built
this.
something like that, you could theoretically maybe rent it out like that. There's opportunities.
Something popped up in my mind. Imagine this. A metaverse with a podium. Rob Nichols releases a new song. You have a launch party inside the metaverse. The awakened punks appear. 100 awakened punks are inside the audience. Rob Nichols has his own punk going crazy on stage. I think you should do it, man.
That's a good idea. Like, because there's a whole, in the lore of the punks, there's a whole kind of clubhouse kind of headquarters HQ, and that's something that we're thinking about developing. And I'm like, now that I have these texturing tools where I don't even need the UV and wrap anymore, I can just basically just align textures. It's like so fast, and the stuff is so low primitive. It wouldn't take me very long to build a clubhouse. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, we might have to try doing this. And like you said, Murtagh, you're like, you can actually just kind of open it up when you want to open it up. It doesn't have to be some kind of constantly running thing, because the problem with an open-ended metaverse that's running 24/7 is you're never going to have anyone in there, hardly. So it's just basically wasted space. But if you can control the time of access, then that just makes the difference, because then you can build that hype, and then you're going to have maximum number of people in at a certain point, and then it ends. And then there's going to be that nostalgia to come back to it when it opens again. When you have something that's open, like an open world game, that you're not going to be able to flood people in and keep them in because our space is so small, that's the problem. But I never thought about limiting the time in the space, like almost like a concert venue, like you just basically mentioned. So you
can even sell concert tickets. You can do crazy stuff, man. We can do the podcast inside the metaverse where people can join the podcast with their character. The boundaries are limitless.
Yeah, no. So that event I was in, the Cardano event, they had an area down. It was the Swamp, it was called, and there was actually a stage, and they had multiple music. Most of them were DJs, right? So they had sets they had made, and so they had like an hour where they got to play a set, and you had like 100 avatars of people that were there in front of the stage, and they're dancing while the music's playing, and there's like a roller coaster people could go on, and like, so you got sets and all types of different things you could do in there. They had art galleries. You could go in and walk through and see pieces of art that artists did in the community. They had a corn maze. And Murtagh, you just said something about, damn, there's so much my brain is going through right now. But different events going on. We were able to like talk. It really is something you guys, it's hard to build it yourself. Sometimes it's easier to just find a location and rent it out. But if you could build it yourself, it is something that you could use and sublet to others to use as well. So you could actually potentially find a way to get a revenue out of it as well. Something. I know They're doing another one of those on 420 upcoming. Cardano's doing that farmers market again. We had some VeChain people in there last time. I'd love to get more of us to be able to jump in, where it was like started at 4 Eastern and it closed at like 11. So like you guys are talking about, it was like a set period of time. You hang out, you have fun, and then they pull the plug and that's it. It was fun. I think you guys would enjoy it.
Well, thanks for that. This has been great. Brainstorming session. Like, no, I really appreciate that you showing what you guys are building in 5.3 because looks, or whichever version of 5, it doesn't matter. They're all amazing. So it's like it's pretty awesome what you guys are doing. That's pretty sick. Now, I really, that's really pushing the bar when you're actually using a game engine to that, which is the best game engine on the planet right now, to basically build utility. Like, it doesn't get any better. So.
Yeah, like I said, man, I really believe the boundaries are endless, man. And maybe our generation isn't ready for the metaverse fully, but our kids will be ready for the metaverse. And I love to see, for example, the bigger brands like Roblox, they now going to integrate NFTs. My kids were playing Roblox a lot, and they were asking me for Robux, but I told them no. But if Roblox actually going to implement blockchain and NFTs, I'm all for it. You can get as much Robux as you want, because the asset or the skin that you will be buying will be your property. You can resell it if you don't like it anymore. It's not like you are stuck with a microtransaction.
Absolutely. And that's, again, we're coming back to the gaming industry. Like, and this is one thing that kind of I'm disappointed with. Again, the closed marketplace. Like, say you're in this major raid and you get this badass sword or weapon, right? Well, then you're just stuck with it. But think about the market conditions of being able to take that weapon to a real marketplace and trading it and getting real value for it. I don't understand how gamers don't really understand. I mean, well, I won't put all of them in that boat, but like, I mean, you could really truly be a farmer in games and become extremely wealthy. You can create like farming teams that legitimize to go and try to like get certain and just put it on the market that people want to value. Think of all the different components of creating a business for yourself in a plethora of different ways. Like
Fortnite came out 4 years ago.
Yeah.
For a new player.
Yeah, and I have a daughter too who played Roblox. She still kind of plays Roblox. She's kind of now she's jumped into the Fortnite pool, but yeah, she's big in Roblox, and I agree with you, Murtagh. Like, okay, why would I give you capital that is just locked into an ecosystem that is kind of worthless because you can't do anything else with it? But again, the problem is Web 2. They're kind of like trapped in their own castles, like the really big studios. Because they just only see this is the only way. But if they would open it up to enrich, like I was talking about Paulie being this amazing community dev who can add value into that ecosystem just by being the individual that he is, and then you reward him in some kind of way for that skill set, you can monetize that somehow.
Yeah, you can directly, let me just chime in real quick. You can directly compensate him by paying him straight out cash, or you can just pay him in NFTs. Or you could pay him in community tokens, or whatever the local token is, and that person, and he can go and he can trade that if he wants. But that's how you keep the game community strong, because games die fast because you're not really harnessing like something that basically Krana does, and what you do, Paulie, as well. That has to be rewarded in these new emerging ecosystems. Because if you don't do it, then those smart people are going to go to where they're just to make the most money, and then they're going to leave, and then. But if you actually reward them and you honor them for what they're doing as far as like maintaining and building community, because we all know every game has those people who really shine to the game and they actually attract people to the game, actually naturally market that product just because they just have they just have it. They have that magic, you know what I mean? So Web3 is the future of gaming. We are just basically just spelling that out. Like you said, Roblox And I would argue that the Fortnite is the perfect vehicle for NFTs. It's perfect. It has that kind of let me just make this one point. It has that kind of international art style that's kind of toony but kind of representational. And the weapons are kind of like toys, but they're like realistic enough to keep the older kids kind of interested. So you have a broader range of who's going to play the game and stick with the game. But then you make some of those assets, or a lot of them NFTs. You don't have to NFT gamify the entire ecosystem. Like I always thought that like if you just had a percentage of drops be NFTs, that'd be good enough. The game can still be the game. It's not just some marketplace that's just buying and selling. But if you have a certain percentage of that game, like say just 10% of the assets are NFTs, that doesn't change the game experience. You know, it impacts it, but it doesn't. I don't know why these people, they're so greedy. Like these web game developers are just so greedy, man. It's insane. But I'll just pause there.
That's why it's our time.
Yeah, I think in the future, Web3, where these companies are going to make money are through the royalties. But there's no reason they can't provide a profitable platform or a profitable game where they capitalize on that and everybody wins. So, yeah, I see that going that way. That's how I kind of got into NFTs in the first place. I didn't know about PFPs. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't, it was kind of like, scary and all that. And then because Gala Games was, I got into Mirandus and I kind of saw the whole, you can go out there, chop wood, chop trees all day and make some money. So, and you can also rent out the NFTs. To me, I felt like that was the best thing, to be able to rent out NFT and, kind of have it working for you. So, yeah, the future is, like I said, it's very exciting. And once we get the mainstream on board, it should change things, hopefully. But I do see some, I don't know if it's just, I think it's just that ignorance at this point. People just don't know what's going on. And, so they can't really talk about it. And, if you don't know about something, you're just going to talk down to it. So, but I think eventually we'll get over that hump.
But there are more use games with the opportunities to integrate NFTs. For example, how many of us bought a shark card for GTA to get ourselves an apartment, to do heists, and now don't play GTA at all? Imagine if you play online, you are a hardcore gamer, but it's your end. You're not playing anymore. Now your money is vanished. If it was an NFT, you could sell your house, you could sell your upgraded character, your weapons, your assets. It's so much more community bound than the current big dogs in the ecosystem.
Murtagh, I bet Builder and Designer might know what I'm about to say, but I can't tell you how many NBA 2Ks I own that I invested hundreds of dollars in to build up my team, and I never touched it again. I might as well just threw my money in the toilet and flush that thing down. But so yeah, the gaming industry in that aspect, like they know, right? Like they see all the money people are willing to spend for that little rush. Like, oh man, I got the best Tracy McGrady card or whatever to put on my team, and then in September I'm already buying the next game and I'm starting all over, and all the money I just put into that thing is just sitting there, and they're just freaking wiping their butts with it. So yeah, this approach where we're getting that dopamine hit by we're minting and we're doing this, but there's so much more that comes with it, right? And I think early on, before the bear hit, it was more like that. We're all minting as many as we could to see if we could get an icon, and then we got all these low ranks just sitting in our wallet forever, and then the project rugs and so I think moving forward, NFT communities and ecosystems hopefully will approach things in a more sustainable way, where we're actually trying to make sure that what we put out there for people to invest in is a sound investment opportunity, and not just a chance for us to raise a shitload of money and go and live our best lives on the backs of everyone else that, you know, that actually put money in us, and oops, you know, it's not, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be a part of an ecosystem where that stuff happens, you know. It's not sustainable.
Absolutely. And to add to your point, the gaming industry is, there's great games that have been coming out, and there's a lot of really great games under development, but they're dying fast. It's because they're void of community. A game will come out, and if it's not instant success and making record profits, it's just going to die. And this is why the gaming industry is not really sustainable for the employee. The employee, in the sense you work on a game, you get canned, now you got to find another job, even though you've sacrificed a lot of energy to making it as the best possible experience that you can make it, and then you get recycled into the ether, and then you got to go back on LinkedIn. It's driving a lot of people crazy. But it's so funny to me. I'm like, guys, Web3, the answer's here. Why getting on that hamster wheel over and over again? In the sense, if you're so passionate, you need to. And I think a lot of people it's that slow filter is happening. People are starting to be like, you know what? I need something for myself. That's why I'm here too. I kind of want a little bit of something for myself, and to see how I can actually have impact. And then now it's like, all right, let's see what other people are doing, and let's see how we can build bridges to help make our lives a little bit easier in that process. So
I'm just also thinking about some things, man. We had War Dogs 2 weeks ago, I believe, 3 weeks ago. They are working on a video platform. It's also something for non-fungible book club, I assume, and like people can buy special episodes or stuff like that just to support their side of things. I think there are so much possibilities for non-fungible book club as a platform. It could be the streaming platform of the future.
I mean, the possibility is definitely there. But I love what the War Dogs, man. Their ability to direct and tell stories is like uncanny, and the whole, like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, dude, they have to continue in this direction. Like, there's no way that they should not. They are killing it. They are so talented. They're highly skilled. Every time I see something that they drop, I'm just like, of course, this is excellent. So I'm big up in them because they are quality artists. And
they could make a movie.
Oh, 100%.
Sell movie tickets and show it in the NFBC metaverse.
It's real. That's real. So that's a possibility. That's truth. So yeah, man, sky's the limit, like you guys are saying. Like the cookie jar just keeps getting deeper. So I'm just kind of it just keeps getting deeper. But I wanted to also comment on what designer says about the gaming industry too. Like, so you can still be a successful game and still the employees of that. The way we're automating so fast that people are being let go from making successful products. So like, for instance, Baldur's Gate 3. Let me give you an example. That game launched. They took a while to make it. So they doubled the actual timeline. Usually a game, AAA game, is about 4 years, give or take, probably a little more. They double it to 8. And they basically, so the work-life balance can kind of stay maintained. So it's like a 40-hour work week, which is unusual in the gaming industry. It's usually, when you get to crunch, it's like crazy. So they launched the game does well. And then they're like championing, look, we made this amazing game, but we made it in a double, like basically like time cycle it takes to make a game. But now we're finding that some of these top artists are being let go. They're like, wait a minute, we did a good job. But they're like, oh, we don't need you anymore. Now, because the way companies are so efficient at just basically just trimming the fat, like they don't care to keep people on board who even done a good job. So it's like, so game artists are starting to realize, like, wait, with all this kind of automation and all of this over efficiency, it's like at a certain point, like we're doing all this because we want to make the human comfortable. It's not about just the executive. It's like we're supposed to be making lives of society better, not just the top people in society. Hence is why we have, at least in America, all our cities are trash right now, because it's part of its automation, a part of its inflation. But it's like, dude, like, it's once you're on those streets, because I've lived in Oakland and lived in San Francisco. Once you were on those streets, it's hard for that brain to come back. Once you hit those streets, you're on those streets for 6 months to a year, dude, man. Like, I've seen these people. To get that person to be an actual functioning member of society again, who can hold down a job and pay their bills, it's a lot, man. So it's like, how long are we going to continue on this track of like, oh yes, we're automating, we're making it efficient, but then it's just one rich guy on a hill and everyone else is living in tents at the base of the hill. It's like, come on, man, like that's not a good direction. So it's like, at a certain point, you got to say, yeah, we're profitable, we're doing really well as a company. We don't need to lay anybody off. Look how much money we made. You know, like, these people who built this product are good. You know, and I know that's like more of a humanitarian way of looking at business, and it's not as efficient. But at a certain point, you got to say, like, what are we doing this for? The garden is literally has one rose in it. Everything else has been rotted. Is that what we're doing? We want a garden that in the middle of the garden is a beautiful rose bush. And this is my analogy. And then everything else is dead and zombified. It's like, that's not a garden. That's just one rose bush. So
and you look at capitalism and the idea that maximizing profits. You know, you got companies that'll pay a CEO $99 million for cutting $100 million in costs. It's like, you know, you saved us $1 million. Here's 99% of what you just saved us. You know, it's automation's great with the idea that we want to eliminate jobs we don't need to do, so they'll free us up to do greater things. But unfortunately, it doesn't always translate like that when things actually get going. You know, it's one of those things. It sounds great. It's easy to get on board with it. But when you got a system that's designed the way that it is, those things don't always translate, you know? So there's going to be growing pains, and hopefully down the road, Web3 gives us an opportunity to change the game a bit, you know, take some of that power back from the top, and you know, recently had a comedian that's starting an Ethereum project on MySpace, and they're doing an NFT collection, which is basically going to operate as a token gating. So if you have one of their NFTs, you have a lifetime pass to comedy shows, some of which are actually going to be metaverse stand-up comedy events.
That is
so creating a metaverse stand-up comedy show that people from all over the world could come in, and, you know, you could buy a ticket to get in if you want, but if you own one of these NFTs, you know, you can get into all the shows they ever do until they stop doing shows, right? And that's giving, you know, we know how expensive it is to go to events now. You know, you go to a comedy show, your ticket, you're paying for the promoter, you're paying for the waiting staff, you're paying for, you know, everyone that's involved in getting that thing going. So maybe you're paying $100 to go to a comedy show, where it's like, you pay $25 to go to this event, and almost all that money is going to the entertainer, you know, taking out that middleman, cutting off all that fat, like you said, giving creators, entertainers more control over their product, right? And at the same time offering potentially a more intimate experience, so that they can connect with their fan base and with people that are interested in what they're doing. The opportunities it's incredible when I hear some of these up and coming NFT projects and the ideas that they have about how they want to incorporate this into real world applications and their jobs, and trying to find a better way to bring us all together and build community, so we're not all fighting over the crumbs like society seems to have us and has had us for so long. You know, probably as long as human beings have been gathering in social groups like we have, you know?
I think Web3 is a beautiful tool for artists and creators, man. And for example, you are a game game artist, you make skins for Fortnite, you won't get the recognition, they will just brand it as Fortnite. But when you create, let's say, a limited edition skin for the Gangsta Gorilla metaverse, we will get your name inside the metadata, you will get the recognition, you will build up a fan base based on the assets that you are building for the metaverse. And for the big head of the snake, so for example, I don't see myself as the boss, but let's say I'm the boss of the metaverse, your fan base will never allow me to kick you out of the platform, or it power to the people. That's what I'm standing for and fighting for. It's you can be the CEO of the metaverse, but eventually the people that are building your metaverse and delivering new assets and stuff, they are the ones that need to get paid, need to get the love, need to get the recognition. So yeah, I think Web3 really is the solution for all of that, man.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's kind of like what you just described, Murtagh, is like the epitome of why me and Builda both started to kind of really cultivate the environment art 3D building tool set so that we can build cities and towns and structures and worlds. Like I want to be like a world builder in providing a service. Like say for instance, like I know you guys have probably heard of like Star Atlas, or let's just use what's the local game that we have that's blanking on it. But anyways, let's just say some sci-fi universe, right? And
Exoworlds, I think.
yeah, Exoworlds. Let's say Thank you. I don't know why I was blanking, but Exoworlds, right? So then I go into Exoworlds, and then I became basically some kind of weapons merchant. And then I start designing these weapons that are really cool, just skins, right? Then they will like actually go ahead, plug them in, and then people were just like following, what I'm doing as far as my brand in the metaverse, as if it's like a store in real life, right? And you're building credibility. People are liking your design sense. Whatever widget, you can even bounce into other metaverses like Teddy Bear World or whatever, and you're just making these funky looking teddy bears. It doesn't matter, but the thing is, it just allows people to be creative in their own right, and they can be their own merchants. That's what I'm really like anticipating and waiting for. That I don't necessarily have to build the actual foundation, but I can add value in the way that I want. And then maybe you have a DAO system that's created, right? So like maybe the style of this world is really fixed, and it needs to stay sort of aligned. Or then let's go to the opposite direction where anything goes, and that can exist too. And it's just based on people's if they value it or not, and they get really into what you're doing. Then you gain a little bit of a following, and all of a sudden you're off to the races, and people are buying the crap out of whatever you make. That to me is where, I'm just kind of adding to what you were saying, Murtagh. This is the way the world has to kind of go, so that you're not just slaving and begging for a job that then in 6 months to 3 years you're back looking for a new one, and you have a family to support on top of that.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly, man.
Yeah, we've seen in a lot of different. I look back to something. Remember Justin Bieber? When he came out, like actually seeing artists utilizing social media to bypass the bureaucracy of the music industry, it's the same kind of concept here, right? Like finding a way to utilize the new technology, these platforms, to actually, tell the man or the industry, like, no, you don't just get to call the shots just because you get to call the shots, right? If there's talent out there, it's going to be discovered, and we're going to find ways to make sure that talent can be discovered and recognized and appreciated for what it is, right? Because there's a lot of people in the world that can do great things that just never will get the opportunity to be seen for what they are, right? Just for bad luck of being born in a poor country or in a poor neighborhood where they don't have the type of opportunity that some people have just for the sake of luck. You just happen to be born in the right place at the right time to the right family, and you did nothing special at all to get to where you are. And it's time. This is going to allow us to shuffle the deck a little bit and open the door for great people who might not have had that opportunity without it.
I hooking up on that. Golden Empire is doing that, and is doing a great job. They're helping South American artists by using their artistic skills to mint collections. The Squad PFP collection that I mentioned earlier is also being made by a South American artist. They have coffee that they import directly from the farmers in Peru, so they pay a fair price for that. Yeah, they are really about what Paulie just mentioned. But I see Krana shuffling around. It's 11:30 p.m. for me. I really think we have to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah. It's been going. We've been chatting for a very long time, so yeah, it's all good.
I really enjoy it, man. I could chat for another 3 hours, but I'm also not sure if YouTube will accept such long format.
That's true. It's all good.
I guess we'll just have to have it again. I guess we'll just have to get back together again sometime.
100%.
Definitely.
We need to have NFBC
To be continued. To be continued.
Yes,
Exactly.
should be continued, definitely. And then we will have Critter joining us for a longer time. I was Moelie from
I would like to
Empire.
see you guys talk with Finger. I think that would be a great conversation to listen to, you and Finger guys. Seeing how you guys' brains work as artists, I think that would be some good insight for collectors.
No, I'm down for that too, to have that conversation. 100%. So yeah, we definitely
absolutely. I just want to say thank you, Black V Market. This has been amazing. Just really learning who you guys are and what you're about as far as what you're building, what you're doing. I mean, wow. I mean, it's really showed me a lot, and I'm really excited for what's to come for sure. So thank you guys to the fullest.
Now, and I'll back up.
Beautiful, man.
I'm gonna back up and say, yeah, this has been an amazing conversation. Like, it's been like what, 3 hours and some change, and I'm just like sitting here wide awake, still very focused. Which I'm happy that I'm not like these young kids who have like the attention span of like nothing. But this conversation has been so amazing that I'm still lasered in. I mean, I've had to leave a few times for various reasons, but this has been an awesome conversation. So definitely want to continue to build on this.
Yeah, I'm very glad you guys showed up because I feel the same way about you guys. I learned a lot about the whole Non-Fungible Book Club. And yeah, so now I got better understanding, and I think it's great. I'm excited about Rob Nichols. I think that's a great guy, to get started off with. And yeah, Rob Nichols, the man.
And this is only the beginning with him too. So like, this is just a start with Rob. We definitely want to continue to build a solid relationship with him and anyone else who comes to work with us. We're not just trying to use you once and then have you just run off. We definitely want to, hey, come back to us, please. We want to continue to work with you. So I just want to say this has been awesome working with Rob, and we're going to continue to work with him. So
yeah, and the episode might be ending, but the conversation's not. I think we'll be speaking and interacting much more moving forward, which I'm looking forward to. So it's been great getting to meet you guys. It's been yeah, like you're saying, the conversation's been fun, organic. It felt meaningful, which I'm always up for. I'm always looking for me. I hate small talk. Screw that. Let's get to the nitty gritty and the meaningful shit. So I appreciate you guys for bringing some realness to the convo, and I'm glad I got to meet you. So looking forward to continuing the discussion.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. Really appreciate it, for making the time, and yeah, to learn us all about Non-Fungible Book Club, and just getting to know y'all, man. It's really appreciated, and I'm pretty sure the community will appreciate it too, man.
Most definitely. Go Squad, man. Go Squad.
go Squad.
Right, Squad, yeah. NorCal Squad.
So yeah, to close it off, I will see you all in 2 weeks. This episode will launch on Wednesday. In 2 weeks, we will have our bi-weekly episode. maybe we'll do another extra episode. We will have art with Finga specials coming up, onboarding with Jasenia and Moelie coming up. We will have some special episodes in between. For now, I don't think we will see y'all before Christmas. So happy Christmas. Have a great time with your family.
Happy holidays to you all.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Thanks for watching all. Don't forget to subscribe. And lots of love.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys. See you later.